After the yandere big boss accidentally transferred me 1 billion yuan, I was worried she'd regret it and refuse to divorce, so I packed my bags in the middle of the night to run away. Who knew that just as I was about to sign the divorce papers, Danmaku suddenly appeared before my eyes. That's the yandere main villain with a trillion yuan fortune, and yet the vicious male supporting character only asked for 1 billion. He's like a lion asking for a small price. This vicious male supporting character is kind of cute. Supporting character, don't sign it, don't be fooled because Su Wanru buttons her shirt to the very top, looking as abstinent and conservative as an old cadre. If you dare to sign, she'll dare to imprison you with golden chains, a game of imprisonment, making hateful love with you every day. No wonder Su Wanru blackened and became the villain. It was so hard to finally marry the white moonlight she'd secretly loved for 10 years. Carefully protecting him for 3 years, she gave her purest heart to the dumbest supporting character. Seeing this, my hand trembled as I was about to sign. Oh my god, I'm actually just a supporting character in a book, and a vicious male supporting character at that. Seeing the Danmaku reveal my entire life, I would crazily take revenge on that woman for her forceful love, but she would still love me just like in the beginning. In the end, even knowing I was using the pretense of a hug to kill her, she still embraced me without hesitation, and my childhood sweetheart would use me. After seizing that woman's assets, she'd sell me straight to North Myanmar. I put the pen down and said, Su Wanru, I don't want to divorce anymore. Su Wanru was undoing her cufflinks and looked at me coldly, not satisfied with the asset division. Her voice was as indifferent as a passing breeze. If it weren't for the Danmaku's reveal, I would think that towards this divorce, and towards me, she felt nothing at all. I wouldn't dare believe I was the person she'd secretly loved for 10 years. It's not that, so what is it? I blurted out. I guess. I was probably won over by you. I said something shocking. The Danmaku went crazy, spamming comments like they'd seen a ghost. What kind of bold words is the supporting character saying? The rims of Su Wanru's ears turned bright red. Author? What's going on? Why is the supporting character so out of character? The big pervert is online. I'm so curious how the main villain won over the supporting character. Damn, how good must the main villain's skills be to be able to win over the vicious male supporting character? I'll buy super VIP, can you show me the details? The words won over must be making Su Wanru ecstatic inside. The clothes she just put on are about to come off again. Isn't the axe set to 234 degrees? Su Wanru's entire body stiffened because of what I said. Her gaze on me grew deeper. What? I explained dryly. I was persuaded by what you said last night. Grandfather isn't in good health. My father doesn't care about me either. If we divorce, I won't have a home anymore. Besides, I just slept with you. I can just put my pants on and leave. That's too scummy. Su Wanru narrowed her eyes. Have you thought it through? I nodded vigorously. I've thought it through. No divorce. Su Wanru just gave a cold, Mom, then expressionlessly picked up the divorce papers and tore them to shreds. Without another word, she turned and left. Lamao, Su Wanru is afraid Jiang Chen will change his mind, that speed of tearing the divorce papers. Her hand speed is comparable to a paper shredder. Su Wanru's inner thoughts. Damn hand, tear faster or I'll chop you off. 1 second Su Wanru is expressionless, the next second she turns away, grinning like the Nike logo. She's so in love. I watched Su Wanru retreating back as she strode away, with a look of confusion. Her face was as cold as ice. She left faster than a rabbit. I couldn't see any sign that she'd secretly loved me for 10 years, or any indication that she didn't want a divorce. But only I could see that the Danmaku wasn't lying. I couldn't figure it out. I'm so tired from all the hateful lovemaking, so I decisively pulled the covers over myself, closed my eyes, and slept peacefully. I woke up from my nap at 4 p.m. I sat in the garden having afternoon tea, watching the fascinating Danmaku scroll by, and learned the story. Basically, I'm the vicious male supporting character of this book. Because of this divorce, I will be imprisoned and then come to resent Su Wanru. After that, I'll court death in all sorts of ways, stealing her trade secrets to give to Li Qianqian, helping her go from an illegitimate daughter of the Lai family to becoming the richest person in just 3 short years. I would also be jealous of Jiang Jingyan, who replaced me and married Li Qianqian, using my status as Su Wanru's husband and the power of the Su family. I would plot against Jiang Jingyan in various ways, only to be exposed and face-slapped one by one. As for me, after killing Su Wanru, with no one left to protect me, I'd be sent to North Myanmar by Li Qianqian and Jiang Jingnian, where my heart and liver would be dug out and my body dismembered to feed the dogs, while Li Qianqian and Jiang Jingnian would live a life of sweet happiness, cherished by everyone. In the years before I became the vicious husband, I was actually very innocent and kind, protecting Li Qianqian from bullies. I was childhood sweethearts with Li Qianqian. As soon as I knew what love was, she confessed and we got together. As soon as I turned 18, Li Qianqian used a foxtail grass ring to propose to me. I was so moved that I sobbed and agreed. I was really easy to fool. I was scolded into my senses. I immediately got up, went into the room and opened the safe, taking out the preserved foxtail grass ring. Seeing this, the Danmaku burst out laughing, mocking my worthless appearance in all sorts of ways. I looked down at the 100 million yuan wedding ring on my hand, then at the foxtail grass ring, which was yellowed despite being preserved and not worth a penny. Back then, I thought Li Qianqian using foxtail grass to propose was as romantic as an idol drama. Now I just feel so stupid, super stupid. Li Qianqian, standing at the door, saw me, holding the foxtail grass ring nostalgically. She frowned and called out, "Zhang Chen?" I looked up at the gentle and pure Li Qianqian and couldn't help but show a happy expression. I lifted my foot, about to rush over, but just thinking about the Danmaku made me feel very uncomfortable and physically repulsed. "Why are you here?" Li Qianqian walked towards me and stood in front of me, looking up at my lips, red and swollen from being kissed, and my neck full of hickeys. She immediately became furious. "Did Su Wanru force you?" I lowered my head and frowned. Li Qianqian's face turned icy. I saw the angry aura emanating from her, and for a moment I felt wronged, nodding while about to hug her and explain. But as soon as I lifted my foot, golden text appeared before my eyes again. The female lead is a bit of a scumbag, isn't she? Last night, she clearly saw the male supporting character in trouble and didn't save him, and even had someone call Su Wanru to pick him up. Is this Zhang Chen retarded? Doesn't he remember that last night he was the one begging Su Wanru to sleep with him? Su Wanru was going to take him to the hospital, but in the car, he ignored Su Wanru's red-eyed pleas and forced himself on her, having a car shock scene, now after putting on his pants. Not only does he not acknowledge her, he's even slandering the female lead for raping him. Please, as an SVP, let me see the detailed process of the car shock scene. Thanks. Looking at the Danmaku, the missing memories of last night flooded into my mind like a tidal wave. In the car, I forcibly kissed Su Wanru. The corners of her long, cold eyes turned red. I firmly unbuttoned Su Wanru's shirt, her voice hoarse as she begged me not to, but I didn't care, and did her right there in the car. My face instantly turned beet red. I was the one who forced myself on her. Li Qianqian saw my face flush red and frowned deeply. "Jiang Chen, don't worry. Even if it's Su Wanru, anyone who hurts you, I will not let them go. I'll take you away now. Away from this terrible hell, huh? Wasn't it the male supporting character who begged the female lead to take him away? Why is the female lead taking the initiative now?" Here it comes, the scene where the male supporting character and female lead elope and get caught in the act by the main villain is about to happen. The main villain will arrive in 5 seconds. Vicious male supporting character. Are you ready to endure the main villain's lustful fire? Anyway, I'm ready. The Danmaku is so funny. Furious anger is furious anger. Why call it lustful fire? And telling me to endure it, that's not the point. The point is that Su Wanru is back. I thought of Su Wanru outside, radiating a cold aura, misunderstanding that I'm cheating and wanting to imprison me, and in a panic, I forcefully flung Li Qianqian's hand away. "Don't touch me with your filthy hands." Li Qianqian's hand hurt from being flung away, and she was also stunned by my words. "Jiang Chen, what's wrong?" I kept my distance from Li Qianqian. "Miss Li, please have some self-respect. I am now Su Wanru's husband. Those are all just little pleasures between my wife and me. I don't feel wronged either. In fact, I enjoyed it very much." Li Qianqian looked down at me, seeing my distant demeanor and that I didn't seem to be lying. She frowned deeply. "Is Su Wanru using me to threaten you?" I tried hard to keep my distance from her. "No." Li Qianqian's face darkened. "It must be Su Wanru using me to threaten you. Don't be afraid. He'll take you away now. He'll protect you and take you to the police. Even if it costs me my life, I will make sure Su Wanru goes to jail." The plot doesn't seem quite right. There's no difference anyway. The male supporting character is already moved to death, falling even more deeply in love with the female lead, wanting to elope with her, and wanting to deal with Su Wanru. The main villain outside has already clenched her fists, emitting a cold aura that could freeze everything 3 feet around her. Author, are you sure you're not writing a separate series for the vicious male supporting character and the main villain? Forceful love and imprisonment? I like it. At this moment, Su Wanru was at the corner outside the door, her entire body emitting an aura of world-destroying intent, scaring Auntie Wang into bowing her head low, desperately wanting to crawl into a crack in the floor. The young master actually wants to collude with the young mistress's mortal enemy to send her to jail. The young mistress has lost so much face, she'll definitely want to kill someone to silence them. I felt a chill. But it wasn't the feeling of approaching death, but rather being scared by those yellow-named users on the Danmaku. The Danmaku told me, if I dared to agree with Li Qianqian, Su Wanru would make me die. Dying from pleasure is still dying. My legs still felt like jelly. I looked coldly at Li Qianqian. Don't you understand human language? Li Qianqian, I said very loudly. Su Wanru did not force me. We are husband and wife. We are operating with a license, legally fulfilling our marital duties. Thinking about what the Danmaku said, that Li Qianqian would leave me to die, and in the end, cruelly kill me with Jiang Jingnian. The bit of affection I had, led by the plot, also vanished. Only disgust remained. And you say she's using you to threaten me? I looked at Li Qianqian with disgust. What the hell are you, to be used as a threat against me and make me suffer humiliation for you? Get lost. Go ask a locksmith under a bridge if you're even worthy. Li Qianqian looked at me, stunned, as if I had become a different person. Her eyebrows furrowed into the character for River Chuan. She looked at the foxtail grass ring in my hand and suddenly understood, speaking very patiently. Jiang Chen, you must be angry that I didn't save you last night, which led to you being forced by Su Wanru. So you're saying this on purpose to provoke me. But last night, it's not that I didn't save you. It's that I was blocked by Su Wanru's people. You were drugged last night. It must have been deliberately arranged by someone. Jiang Chen, come with me. Report Su Wanru to the police and accuse her of rape. Raping a man is also a crime now. I will stop at nothing to make her go to jail. After everything is settled, we'll get back together. It'll protect you and love you. It's the same few lines over and over, the Danmaku said again, that I would be moved to tears. Su Wanru is still outside. The red, yellow, and green warning lines haven't been removed yet. I've lost my patience and glared at Li Qianqian, still speaking very loudly. I was the one who raped Su Wanru. This is a little pleasure between my wife and me. If you don't understand human language, then quickly, get lost and go eat with the dogs, you idiot. I was so mad I wanted to give her the middle finger, but I am a gentlemanly supporting character, Auntie Wang. Outside the door, secretly glanced at Su Wanru. I can testify to this last night. It was the young master who was hugging the young mistress, kissing and biting her. He almost put on a show in the living room, for all us maids. Again and again, Li Qianqian realized I was serious. She frowned deeply. You've fallen for Su Wanru? I didn't want to watch her fake act, and smiled as I nodded. That's right. I have come to desire Su Wanru. Why did the male supporting character suddenly stop being a simp? Was he really won over by the main villain? That's right. Read the supporting character's words carefully. He has come to desire Su Wanru. The emphasis is on the verb, thank you. The eavesdropping main villain is about to grin like the Nike logo again. She's got more material for her shameful dreams now. I was speechless. Which yellow-named user is this, interpreting it like that? Su Wanru suddenly stiffened. The cold aura around her was like encountering a scorching sun, instantly melting away. Li Qianqian didn't believe it at all. You're holding the ring I used to propose to you to remember me. I don't believe you'd have a change of heart and fall for Su Wanru. The aura around Su Wanru outside turned cold again, capable of freezing everything for 10 feet. I looked at the foxtail grass ring, completely speechless. It's not to remember you, but to be disgusted by this piece of trash. How can it compare to the wedding ring worth 100 million that Su Wanru gave me? This wedding ring can even turn into a transformer. Take this piece of trash back. With that, I stepped in front of Li Qianqian. She happily opened her mouth to speak, but the next second, I firmly stuffed the foxtail grass ring into her mouth. Eat trash. I finished the job cleanly and walked neatly out of the room. I tilted my head and saw Su Wanru feigning surprise with a, "Why is she here?" expression. I deliberately asked, "You're back?" Su Wanru's voice was cold and indifferent. "Mum." Jiang Chen. Li Qianqian chased after me and was slightly stunned to see Su Wanru. Then she greeted her gently and politely. "Miss Su." Su Wanru maintained her cold expression. "I came back to get a document. You two continue." I looked at her cold, indifferent expression, not even caring if I was cheating on her or not. But the Danmaku wouldn't stop. This is a sure field scene. Can the male supporting character handle it? The main villain is so good at pretending she's so jealous inside she's about to kill someone, yet she acts indifferent and tells them to continue. Let's see if the male supporting character dares to continue. The main villain will dare to kill someone, and dare to imprison the male supporting character with golden chains, punishing him daily with negative distance. How long can the main villain hold it in? 5 seconds or 3 seconds? Let me count. 5, 3, 1. Is that how you count? I called out loudly. Su Wanru. Su Wanru's whole body stiffened. Then she turned back with a cold face and looked at me silently. Have. She hadn't finished speaking when a figure flashed before her eyes, and in the next moment, she was pulled into a warm embrace. I hugged her and leaned down to kiss her on the lips. Su Wanru's body was stiff and tense, not daring to move an inch, not even daring to blink her eyes. Her pupils just quivered like that. While she maintained her cold expression, looking at me forcibly kissing her, hopefully, politely said goodbye before turning to leave, Su Wanru watched Li Qianqian disappear behind the main door downstairs, then gave me a deep look. Before turning and walking away, I saw her completely indifferent attitude and couldn't be bothered to pay attention to her. Anyway, the danger has been neutralized as long as I don't simp for Li Qianqian, and don't get jealous of Zhang Jingnian. I won't die a tragic death, and I won't be imprisoned by Su Wanru. I can relax and be a rich Nith generation heir. I went downstairs and sat on the genuine leather sofa in the living room, eating premium caviar and drinking milk tea made by a 5-star chef. One maid massaged my tired shoulders, another maid kneaded my weak back. I happily watched pleasant goat like this. I don't know how much time had passed when footsteps were heard from upstairs. The quiet Denmaku became lively again. The main villain upstairs is about to shatter into pieces like seafoam. Why is the male supporting character still leisurely watching cartoons? Go comfort the heartbroken little kitten. Does the love-brained main villain need the male supporting character to comfort her? She was in the study for half an hour, and when the male supporting character didn't come to explain, she had already comforted herself. I don't see how Su Wanru is love-brained at all. In what way is she deluding herself that I love her? I didn't understand, so I called out to her, Su Wanru. Su Wanru's figure swayed slightly, then she steadily stepped onto the last stair. She pressed her thin lips together and looked up at me coldly. Her voice was also calm and rippleless. What is it? Oh my god, the main villain is such a poser. She was just called by name and forcibly kissed once by the male supporting character. Now, as soon as she hears him call her name, she reflexively purses her lips, wanting to be forcibly kissed, but ends up pretending to be talking to an employee. What a damn phony. Serves her right for being the main villain. She won't get the male supporting character's love even in death. Even when she's angry, she refuses to open her mouth. I looked at Su Wanru a few more times. Aside from her cold and distant look, I didn't see any anger. Are you angry? Su Wanru. No. I saw the Danmaku were all scolding Su Wanru for being fake and raised an eyebrow, asking again, Really? Su Wanru walked up to me and looked down at me from above. She asked calmly, Why should I be angry? I also didn't know why the Danmaku said she was angry. I didn't elope with Li Qianqian, nor did I report her to the police. I even forcibly kissed her. Su Wanru looked at me even more coldly and calmly. We agreed back then that after marriage, we'd do our own things and not interfere in each other's lives. Otherwise, we'd divorce, so. She paused for a moment and asked me again, Why should I be angry? I stopped looking at her and watched the exciting cartoon instead. I was very calm, I didn't care, but the Danmaku was going crazy with impatience. How would Su Wanru dare to be angry? The prenuptial agreement was proposed by the male supporting character. If after marriage she didn't let him do his own thing and stopped him from liking Li Qianqian, he wouldn't just want a divorce, he would want to die. Su Wanru is completely under the male supporting character's thumb. She doesn't dare to get angry at all. She can only pretend not to care. Actually, every time the male supporting character calls Li Qianqian or goes out to meet Li Qianqian, Su Wanru would pull the covers over her head at night and cry under the blankets like a whistling kettle. I snapped my head up, looking at the cold-faced Su Wanru with shock and fear, crying like a whistling kettle. Is that real or fake? I really want to see her cry. Does she really sound like a whistling kettle? Su Wanru just felt that the expression I was giving her was very strange, unspeakably strange. She became even colder. I'm leaving, won't be back tonight. I was still thinking about how to bully Su Wanru to see her cry like a whistling kettle, but before I could figure it out, I saw her turn and leave. At the same time, Golden Denmaku scrolled by. The main villain specially came back to catch the mistress and just left like that. The great female villain is gone. So where's my forced love drama? Not even a single bite of meat soup. Are you trying to starve the readers? This is abuse of readers, I protest. I skimmed through the comments from the Yellow Duck avatars. Finally, someone dropped a spoiler. The male supporting character chasing Li Qianqian away was all for Su Wanru to see. It was to curry favor with her. Then he'd steal the company's secrets. He's not worthy of Su Wanru's love at all. Su Wanru knows the male supporting character's purpose, but she doesn't expose him. Later, she even deliberately let him win, letting him take the company's secrets, just so he wouldn't divorce her. She's truly, deeply in love, if possible. Su Wanru is a lowly simp who became the third party for love. Go for it. Male supporting character. Keep courting death. Quickly increase Su Wanru's villainy value. I have no sympathy for the male and female leads in this book. The forced love between the female villain and the male supporting character is the only motivation for me to keep reading. Just torture each other mercilessly. I finally, from among the countless wild and fierce words of the comments, found the reason for Su Wanru's anger. It's because I would try to please Su Wanru for Li Qianqian's sake. Steal company secrets. And cause the Su Corporation's downfall. How could that be? I'm Su Wanru's husband. The Su Corporation's assets are our joint marital property. Half of it is mine. What a stupid plot. Giving up hundreds of billions in assets for a bitch, and Su Wanru would even agree to it. For me to take her money to support a bitch outside. What kind of god-tier love-addled brains are these? Even a gold digger of 10 years couldn't find such a psycho. I'm speechless, seeing her leave without looking back. Su Wanru had no intention of asking me for an explanation. I was even more speechless, holding my forehead. I was originally planning to explain it to you. If you're not angry, then forget it. As Su Wanru reached the door, she suddenly froze. She turned her head to look at me and asked, What did you say? Hearing her cold and indifferent tone again, I smirked speechlessly and repeated as if I was sulking. I was going to explain the matter with Li Qianqian to you. If you're not angry and don't care, then forget it. Su Wanru stood at the door. Her deep eyes scrutinized me. I didn't want to repeat it a third time. and I was too lazy to look at this secretive girl's act of being upset inside, but pretending otherwise when she spoke. I turned my head and continued watching Pleasant Goat. I also grabbed a bag of potato chips next to me. I opened it and started crunching them in my mouth. A moment later, the sound of footsteps grew closer. Suwanro's tall figure stopped beside me. You have 5 minutes. You can explain. I didn't bother looking at her and treated her very coldly as well. Aren't you not angry? Then why should I explain? Suwanru was silent for a moment. She pursed her lips and said, a little. Only then did I raise my eyebrows and look at her. Just a little? Then I won't explain either. It's a waste of saliva. Suwanru stared at me for a while. She pursed her lips again. Again, she feigned a serious and indifferent expression. A little with the person radical, just a tiny bit angry. I kind of wanted to laugh. I raised my eyebrows and looked at her. That angry? Then cry for me to see. I'm very curious about you crying like a boiling kettle. Suwanru frowned. The aura around her grew even colder. Ha ha ha! Is the male supporting character teasing the great female villain? Look at her guilty expression. Her earlobes have turned red. Go for it, male supporting character. Hurry up and bully the great female villain until she cries. If you can turn the tables. Using the custom-made gold chain and gold bracelet, the small golden whip bullying the great female villain until she cries. That would really be the death of me from pleasure. I teased Suwanru just about enough. I didn't dare to truly anger this great female villain. I stood up and looked at Suwanru. Suwanru looked up, her gaze perfectly meeting my alluring Adam's apple. She tilted her head up and glanced at my lips, which were just inches away. In an instant, her whole body tensed up. The corners of her eyes turned red. Then she turned away with a cold face, waiting silently. I reached out and lifted Suwanru's chin, forcing her to turn her face back to me. I looked at her and said seriously, Suwanru. Suwanru's face remained frosty. The great female villain isn't thinking the male supporting character is about to force a kiss on her, is she? Look at her cheap, expectant expression. Her mouth is just dying to pucker up and offer itself. It's come to her doorstep, just a lift of the chin. Look at how much the great female villain has been teased. She keeps swallowing her saliva. I had no intention of teasing Suwanru. These damn comments are ruining the atmosphere. They've completely shattered my domineering aura. But I still explained very seriously and sincerely to Suwanru. Suwanru, I don't like Li Qianqian anymore. I won't be in a hurry to divorce you anymore. From now on, I won't do anything to hurt you, for Li Qianqian's sake, or anything detrimental to the Su Corporation. Suwanru's pupils dilated. Her body stiffened slightly. Then she nodded. I reached out and tucked a stray strand of her hair back. Since we're not getting divorced, we are husband and wife. From now on, if anything makes you angry, you can ask me. I silently added in my heart, you must listen to my explanation. Don't misunderstand me, and then lock me up and force your love on me. Suwanru's eyes were deep. She obediently said, okay. I thought I should still coax this female villain. So, I gently placed my lips on the corner of hers. I lowered my eyes to look at her soft, thin lips as I kissed her. Miss Su will believe me, right? Suwanru suddenly pushed me away, turned around and strode away. In an instant, she was in the car. The car sped off in a cloud of dust, leaving only an afterimage. A flock of crows flew over my head. Am I some man-eating monster? She ran so fast. What exactly does she love about me? The male supporting character is so naive. Suwanru actually believes Jiang Chen's nonsense. He's just trying to appease her, to lay the groundwork for stealing the company's secrets. As long as I say it, even if it's a lie, Suwanru will believe it. She loves me that much. What do you mean, even if it's a lie? Suwanru will believe me. It's just a false premise. In the end, she still doesn't believe me. The car completely disappeared. The comments were gone too. In the evening, a figure hurriedly appeared at the hall entrance. It's Jiang Jingnian. He walked in quickly. There's trouble at home. Brother, hurry and come with me. And the comments that had disappeared reappeared. The kind-hearted male lead is here to save the male supporting character. The male supporting character better not be ungrateful. Is the male lead really kind-hearted? At first, he wanted to marry Suwanru, but he found out she didn't care about him. So he chose Li Qianqian as his second option. And he was always instigating Jiang Chen to get a divorce. Jiang Chen's descent into darkness was largely because of Jiang Jingyan. Mao, the vicious male supporting character, is evil by nature. What does it have to do with our boy? A truly good person will be a good person no matter what they go through. The comments argued endlessly. I observed Jiang Jingyan. White shirt, jeans, he looked clean and pure, making people trust and like him at first glance, without any defenses. This is the male lead's halo. Jiang Jingyan couldn't pull me. Seeing me staring at him, he blinked his eyes in confusion. Brother, what's wrong with you? Why do you keep staring at me? At this point, I hadn't targeted Jiang Jingyan yet. I even treated him very well, because Jiang Jingyan said that temporarily. Getting engaged to Li Qianqian was to cover for me. After I divorced Suwanru, he would find an opportunity to break off the engagement with Li Qianqian and return Li Qianqian to me. Before seeing the comments, I trusted Jiang Jingyan completely. Who would have thought that my tragic end was caused by Jiang Jingyan and Li Qiangqian? I calmly pulled my hand back and said with a smile, "You've got quite the face." Jiang Jingyan didn't understand and froze. "What?" I smiled. "You've gotten more thick-skinned. Low Iki, you're thick-skinned. High Iki, you've got quite the face." Being suddenly called thick-skinned made Jiang Jingyan blush in embarrassment. He looked at me innocently and aggrieved. "Brother, did I do something wrong? Did I make you unhappy?" His eyes turned red with urgency. "I swear, Sister Qiangqian and I haven't done anything improper. We're just waiting for you to get divorced, and then I'll return Sister Qiangqian to you. Is Jiang Chen sick?" My Jingnian only said one thing, and he called him thick-skinned. A vicious male supporting character is a vicious male supporting character. "Jiang Chen, hurry up and disappear. Stop bullying my precious boy." Otherwise, Jiang Jingnian would have lost out of anger. His mouth has already been kissed raw by Li Qiangqian. Except for not going all the way. Li Qiangqian's mouth has already served him, and he still says nothing improper happened. If he manages to woo Suwanru, he'll return the used Li Qiangqian to Jiang Chen. Does he treat Jiang Chen as a garbage collection station? I thought about how for the past 3 years, Li Qiangqian used the mouth that had served Jiang Jingnian to say she liked me, and I actually believed it. I immediately felt disgusted, and Jiang Jingnian, who enjoyed that service, also said that after I got divorced, he would return the sullied Li Qiangqian to me. It's even more disgusting. I looked up and carefully at Jiang Jingnian. He raised his eyebrows slightly. "Has your mouth been kissed raw?" Jiang Jingnian touched his lips and sucked in a cold breath from the pain. He blushed and explained in a panic. "Brother, you've misunderstood. I just have internal heat." I leisurely said, "Oh, eating trash can also give you internal heat?" Jiang Jingnian could only awkwardly admit, "Yes." I sneered, "Just one night and you have so much internal heat that your mouth has sores. Seems like you really like eating this garbage. From now on, this garbage is yours. But remember to brush your teeth and rinse your mouth after eating trash. Don't come and pollute my air. I'm afraid of catching a virus." Jiang Jingyan was flustered. His eyes turned red with panic and grievance. "Brother, this damn bullied look again. To gain others' pity and sympathy." I sneered. "Stop acting. Suwanru isn't here. If you have something to say, just say it." "What's wrong with my family?" Jiang Jingnian just felt that my attitude was very strange, but he didn't think much of it. He said hurriedly, "Uncle found out about your divorce agreement with Suwanru. Yesterday, he was so angry he almost fainted. He also said that if you dare to divorce, then don't call him your father anymore. He wants to disown you. I persuaded Uncle for a long time. Only then did Uncle calm down." Jiang Jingnian is my second uncle's son. He's my younger cousin, just a few months younger than me. When I was 10, my second uncle's family moved into my house. Jiang Jingnian looked obedient and was a sweet talker, so he quickly became everyone's favorite, including mine. But now that I think about it carefully, ever since Jiang Jingnian moved into the Jiang family home, my relationship with my father grew worse and worse. Every time we met, it was either an argument or an argument. Until 3 years ago, my father disregarded my wishes, and for the sky-high price of 300 million, sold me to the Su family as a groom to bring good luck. I completely cut ties with my father. We didn't visit or show concern during holidays or even when he was sick. Anything that needed to be said was passed on by Jiang Jingnian. It was no different from being disowned. But now I'm extremely suspicious. Is my father really such a terrible person? I looked at Jiang Jingnian suspiciously. Only 4 people knew about the marriage agreement. How did my father suddenly find out? The marriage agreement between Su Wanru and me, only the 2 of us knew. Besides us, there were Jiang Jingnian and Li Qiangqian. Jiang Jingnian was stunned for a moment. Then he explained apologetically. "The house was being cleaned today. The maid accidentally found your divorce agreement, and Uncle saw it. Brother, I didn't do it on purpose. I hid it very well. It's just." I calmly cut him off. "Then you did it on purpose." There were 3 copies of the divorce agreement in total. Su Wanru and I each had one. The other one was with Jiang Jingnian. It was hidden for 3 years without being discovered. But when the divorce date arrived and I didn't divorce Su Wanru, it was suddenly discovered. What a coincidence. Jiang Jingnian followed behind me, apologizing profusely. Sorry. I really didn't mean it." I looked at Jiang Jingnian constantly nodding and bowing, appearing to be sincerely apologizing. I tilted my chin up slightly. "If you really want to apologize, then kneel and kowtow twice. That would show your sincerity." Jiang Jingnian was stunned. He looked at me in disbelief. Then the rims of his eyes slowly turned red again. The comments once again cursed me for being vicious, telling me to disappear. I just felt it was boring and tasteless. I turned and left. Jiang Jingnian hurriedly followed. "Brother, where are you going?" "Home." Jiang Jingnian was stunned again. "Uncle is in a fit of rage. He's so angry he's fallen ill. I'm afraid it's not a good idea for you to go back now." I turned my head to look at him. "You rushed here to find me? Wasn't it to take me back? To tell that terrible old father the good news that I'm not getting a divorce? To make him happy?" "No." But Jiang Jingnian couldn't say it. He could only ask me. "Brother, Are you really not divorcing Suwanru anymore? Driver and bodyguard Zhang Wei drove the Maybach to a stop at the door. I bent down and elegantly got into the car. Zhang Jingnian immediately got in after me. He asked me, very confused, "Brother, why did you suddenly decide not to get a divorce? Isn't the 3-year term up?" I tilted my head towards Zhang Jingnian and pointed to the hickey on my neck. Then I smiled brightly. Because I've been persuaded. The car Zhang Wei had just started, stalled because of my shocking words. He fumbled and explained, "Mr. Zhang, I'm sorry. I have a bad temper. I fire servants at the slightest provocation. Zhang Wei is the 131st driver I've had in the past 3 years." I just hummed nonchalantly. Zhang Wei secretly let out a sigh of relief. Jiang Jingnian looked as if he'd been struck by lightning. He couldn't believe I would say something so shameless. The person who had been making a fuss about divorce for 3 years would stop because of one night in bed. Jiang Jingnian couldn't accept this reason. Looking at the hickey on my neck, he couldn't imagine how wanton the usually elegant and noble Su Wanru would be in bed. That was something he didn't dare to think about. He wouldn't even dare to dream of it. Jiang Jingnian bit his lip. "Brother, what are you saying?" I raised my eyebrows and looked at him, and repeated word for word. I said, "I'm not divorcing her anymore. I was persuaded by Su Wanru. Did you understand this time?" Jiang Jingnian was extremely shocked. His voice turned shrill. "Brother, how could you be like this? How can you do this to Sister Qianqian?" I laughed. "I sleep with my wife. What does that have to do with Li Qianqian? That's your fiancée, my future sister-in-law. I don't have a taste for eating trash." Jiang Jingnian's eyes widened as he looked at me, wondering why I had changed into a different person. "Brother, you don't like Sister Qianqian anymore?" I was very calm. "I don't want her anymore. I bestow her upon you." This condescending attitude, casually bestowing upon him something I didn't want, was like treating him as a garbage collection station. It made Jiang Jingnian bite his lip. He glanced at Zhang Wei. Then he smiled and said, "You must be saying that in anger." "It's okay, brother. Sister Qianqian won't despise you." I impatiently cut Jiang Jingnian off. "All you ever say is Sister Qianqian. Are you a hen with diarrhea? She won't despise me? Who the hell is she, Li Qianqian? Is it her turn to despise me?" Jiang Jingnian looked at me stupidly. "Brother." Zhang Wei stopped the car. We were still within the Su family manor grounds. Zhang Wei slammed on the brakes, then he tactfully opened the back door, and even made a gentlemanly gesture of invitation. "Second young Master Jiang, please." I raised my eyebrows at Jiang Jingnian. "Too much nonsense, get out of the car." "Brother," I directly lifted my leg, and kicked Jiang Jingnian out of the car. Zhang Wei was quick to close the car door. He got back into the driver's seat, stepped on the gas, leaving Jiang Jingnian with only exhaust fumes. Jiang Jingnian indignantly took out his phone to make a call. The call connected. "Uncle." I couldn't persuade him. He said if Uncle doesn't agree to his divorce with Su Wanru, he will kill himself for you to see. "I've said everything I could. He's finally willing to come back and see you now. Uncle, don't confront him anymore. For his own good, you should just pretend to agree to the divorce first. But he can't leave empty-handed. He must get a 1 billion asset split. This way, we are all doing it for his own good. Uncle, don't tell him this was my idea. Otherwise, he won't tell me things in the future and I won't be able to help you anymore." I arrived at the hospital and told Zhang Wei, "Wait for me here." Zhang Wei was surprised. "You still want to go back?" My routine for the past 3 years was that as soon as I left the Su house, I wouldn't go back if I could help it. I would usually only go home once every 10 days or half a month. It was almost like a secret marriage with Su Wanru. I hummed in response, and glanced at him nonchalantly. "Ask less. There won't be a next time." Afraid of being fired, Zhang Wei quickly bowed his head and said, "Yes." After I left, he let out a sigh of relief. After hesitating for a moment, he still picked up his phone and sent a message to Su Wanru. "Second young Master Jiang came to find sir." Su Wanru, who was in a meeting, raised her hand to pause it. After replying to Zhang Wei's message, she opened the only chat that was pinned to the top. We texted every day. It started from the day of the marriage agreement. I sent her a countdown to the divorce date, until yesterday when I sent her the notice that the countdown was over and the divorce agreement, telling her to confirm if there were any issues. If there were no issues, I would print it out, sign it, and go get the divorce certificate. Su Wanru frowned. It was unclear what she was thinking. At this moment, I entered the hospital elevator. After a moment's thought, I still sent a message to Su Wanru. "Are you there?" This was the only greeting besides the divorce countdown, especially since the countdown had ended. Su Wanru suddenly sat up straight. The phone in her hand was like a ball of fire, so hot that she wanted to throw it away. This led her to miss the subsequent message from Zhang Wei. For a moment, Special Assistant Yan Ruyu beside her only felt the temperature in the room drop 180 degrees, so cold that it terrified him. With the young mistress' freezer-like aura, it was no surprise. Seer must have brought up the divorce again. He couldn't understand if there was something wrong with my head, refusing to eat the soft rice of the richest person. Always making trouble and demanding a divorce, with the young lady protecting you. I want to advance in my studies. The young lady can get me into a top school. I want to get rich and start a business. The young lady can also throw money around like it's nothing, making my career take off like a kite in the wind. I want to give up, lie flat, and be a homebody. I can sleep until I wake up naturally every day in a 200-meter bedroom. I want to go shopping. Brand managers line up at my door. I can have whatever I want. Why would I be so foolish? Wanting a divorce 365 days a year, a wage slave working like a horse. It's another day of wanting to fight the rich to the death. At the hospital, I got out of the elevator. I didn't get a reply from Su Wanru. I casually scrolled through our chat history. Every day when I wake up, I send, "How many days left until the divorce?" After that, Su Wanru would always be as sparing with her words as if they were gold. In short, as long as I sent it, she would reply with a single, I'm speechless. These 3 years living with Su Wanru, it's not even as good as living with a roommate. A husband and wife acting like such strangers. I really have to hand it to myself. I have to hand it to Su Wanru, this girl who's cold on the outside but warm on the inside. She's had a crush on me for 10 years, yet she could endure being so cold to me. She doesn't know how to fight for anything. I looked at the patients passing by below. Doctors, nurses. There were no Danmaku comments, so I called Su Wanru. Su Wanru was still trying to figure out the meaning of my, "Are you there?" As a result, the phone suddenly rang. Hubby, I love you." The phone that hadn't rung in 3 years went off. Hearing the ringtone, Yan Ruyu looked at Su Wanru in shock. His eyeballs were about to pop out. What kind of tacky ringtone is this? And it's coming from his cold President Su. Su Wanru suddenly shot up from her chair. She almost couldn't hold her phone steady. Then she fumbled, trying to silence it but hesitated, not daring to answer. This reaction of hers, along with the ringtone that had quieted but not stopped, made Yan Ruyu unable to resist looking at her. "President Su, are you all right?" When the Su Group's capital chain was broken, President Su didn't even react like this. Su Wanru looked at the phone with a cold face. Her voice was also very cold as she explained, "My husband insisted on setting this ringtone. So, you're not going to answer?" Su Wanru's whole body was tense. Her face was also as cold as ice. "I'm busy with a meeting." Yan Ruyu reminded her, "The young master is calling you for the first time. If you don't answer, won't the young master get angry? If he gets angry, he'll just demand a divorce even more." Su Wanru rubbed her temples. At the last second before the ringing stopped, she still answered the call. After reading the comments, I hurriedly pushed Su Wanru away and backed out of the room's door. "Important secret." "Then I won't go in." "Then what did you come up here for?" Su Wanru still asked me coldly. Jiang Chen didn't go in to look. Su Wanru was really disappointed. That 10-year secret love couldn't see the light of day. It still had to be hidden. Su Wanru is also very afraid of being found out, huh? Afraid that Jiang Chen will see another side of her. Gloomy, terrifying, crazy. He would think she's a pervert, damply hiding in the shadows. He'd hate her even more, avoid her. She's very afraid of Jiang Chen seeing her like that. I was quite curious, but I didn't dare to peek into the attic. After all, I don't have many feelings for Su Wanru right now. And she doesn't trust me enough either. She keeps thinking I still like Li Qianqian. Before there's enough trust, I can't go into the attic and expose her secret and cause myself to lose my freedom. I looked up at Su Wanru. "I just want to explain something to you. Just now when you kissed me, I called out Li." Su Wanru interrupted very indifferently. "Don't need to explain. I don't mind either. Kissing you just now was purely a physiological desire. If you have nothing else, you can go downstairs. Don't come to the attic anymore. This pretentious girl's heart has already shattered into ashes, and she's still here pretending not to care. Male supporting character, we're the bad guys, don't mind her. Let's give her 100 consecutive slaps. Slap that stubborn mouth of hers silly. Then arrogantly throw a let's divorce at her. Teach her a lesson for not speaking like a human. Serves her right for not having a husband." I was a little tempted. I felt like this was a great idea. I moved my wrist, ready to slap. "This is indeed a good idea. Activate the imprisoning love mode immediately. We'll have meat with every meal. Picking vegetables out from the meat. Letting Jiang Chen slap the big villain's face. Isn't that definitely a reward? This could make the big villain so happy she can't sleep all night." Seeing the comments get more and more perverted, I was so scared I quickly pulled my hand back. I have to live normally with Su Wanru. Neither love nor money is as precious as freedom. I looked up at Su Wanru. I casually found an excuse. "I came not just to explain to you, but I'm also hungry." Su Wanru frowned at me. "Hungry?" I nodded vigorously. "Yeah, very hungry." Su Wanru found me a bit strange. "If you're hungry, go downstairs and find Auntie Zhang. Dinner should be ready in the kitchen." That cold face seemed to be saying, "If you're hungry, why are you looking for me?" I got a little angry. "I want to eat the noodles you make. Could I trouble the esteemed lady, Miss Su, to make a bowl of noodles for me?" After I finished asking angrily, I turned and limped away. Su Wanru was stunned for a moment. She chased after me and supported me. "Speak properly. Don't be sarcastic. Your leg hasn't healed, don't walk around aimlessly." I struggled symbolically a few times. I huffed angrily. You're the one who isn't speaking properly. You have a long face all day. As if I owe you hundreds of millions. Su Wanru saw me getting angry, my cheeks puffed up. Like a little goldfish. This was a look I had never shown her before. The corners of Su Wanru's lips lifted slightly. Then she quickly pulled them back. What does she mean by, do I really owe her money? It's not just hundreds of millions. It's billions, tens of billions. You can't pay it all back. I blinked my eyes, even more confused. How could I owe Su Wanru so much money? A debt from a past life? The dazed-looking vicious male supporting character is so cute. How can he be so cute? What on earth is going on inside that handsome head? To be able to have such a dazed expression, he must be thinking about what the big villain said, that he owes her hundreds of millions. He thinks he doesn't owe a single cent. Our car is already on the highway. The vicious male supporting character is still dazed. Is that a monetary debt? It's a life debt. The lives of your descendants are also lives. That's not wrong, ha ha ha. The dazed vicious male supporting character is so cute. I looked at the comments line by line. I soon understood what the comments were saying. I blushed and closed my eyes. I didn't dare to look at the comments anymore. I went to the dining room and sat down. Su Wanru looked at my leg and instructed, "Sit here and don't move. If you need anything, call a servant to get it." I was really hungry and my leg hurt too, so I obediently nodded. You only want to eat noodles?" I heard her gentle voice, and my eyes widened in surprise. Huh? Her voice can be gentle too? Not as cold as a block of ice. I thought this woman's mouth had been frozen in a 30-degree cold storage. Su Wanru said patiently, "How do you want your noodles?" "I don't know either. I just said it on a whim." So I was thinking. The comments scrolled past my eyes again. Of course, it's the noodles down below. I've started getting used to these dirty comments that are practically glowing. I just ignored them. I looked up, smiled at Su Wanru, and said, "Any kind of noodles is fine. As long as you make it, I'll love to eat it." She's had a crush on him for 10 years, so I should give her a little something sweet, to avoid being imprisoned by love later. Hearing my words, Su Wanru's whole body stiffened. The corners of her lips couldn't help but curve up. "Okay, wait for me." She turned and quickly went into the kitchen. Jiang Chen just had to smile a little, and the big villain's mouth curved into a Nike swoosh. "She's so easy to bait. I told you the big villain has a love-addled brain. You don't need to say or do anything. Just give her a look, and her IQ will automatically drop to 520, becoming Jiang Chen's #1 crazy fan." Su Wanru went into the kitchen. I sat in the dining room scrolling through videos. "The noodles are ready." I heard Su Wanru's voice. I looked up towards the kitchen, and saw Su Wanru wearing an apron, pushing a food cart out with an elegant aura. I was a little speechless. "Do you need a cart for just a bowl of noodles? People who didn't know would think I was dining at a 5-star hotel." Su Wanru pushed the food cart to the table. There were many ingredients in the kitchen, so I made a few more types of noodles. "See which bowl you'd like to eat." She moved the bowls of noodles from the cart to the dining table. Plain noodles, pork rib noodles, seafood noodles, dry noodles, hot and sour noodles, instant noodles. I looked at each bowl, hot noodles laid out before me. Surprised again and again, Su Wanru saw my silence. Her body tensed up. She frowned and asked, "You don't like any of them?" I quickly replied, "I like them. It's just that I feel it's very over the top. I only wanted one bowl of noodles. You didn't need to make so many bowls, and with different flavors too." Su Wanru's face was cold. She said very indifferently and casually, "I didn't intentionally make them for you. It's because there were too many ingredients in the kitchen." My hands were itching, so I cooked a little more. She handed me the chopsticks. "Hurry up and eat. They'll get soggy if you wait too long. Try a little from each bowl. See which flavor you like." I looked at her indifferent and casual expression, as if she really just cooked them on a whim, and not intentionally for me. Someone cooking for the first time has itchy hands? The big villain lies without blushing. If she weren't afraid Jiang Chen would be hungry, she would have wanted to cook a whole Manchu Han imperial feast. What are a few bowls of noodles? The big villain is cooking noodles for her husband for the first time. She's afraid her husband won't be satisfied with her. She's so nervous. Vicious male supporting character, don't just focus on eating. Quickly give the big villain some feedback, otherwise that apron is about to be crumpled to bits. After taking a bite of the plain noodles, I looked up at Su Wanru. She stood opposite me with a cold expression. Her hands seemed to be moving. Is she really so nervous she's crumpling her apron? I looked again at her deep black eyes, staring intently at me, like a little kitten waiting to be praised. I put down my chopsticks. I looked up, my eyes sparkling at Su Wanru. "Su Wanru, you're amazing. You can use simple ingredients to make such delicious plain noodles. Did you ever study cooking professionally and get a golden chef certificate?" Su Wanru's black eyes lit up bit by bit at the praise. She only regretted that she couldn't go into the kitchen and immediately cook me a Manchu Han imperial feast. Her icy face also rarely blushed. The corners of her lips couldn't help but curve high up. She couldn't suppress it even if she tried. "I've never studied it. This is my first time in the kitchen." I said, "Wow." My gaze towards Su Wanru became even more adoring. "It's your first time in the kitchen again? Unbelievable. Even better than a golden chef. The corners of Su Wanro's lips were still curved up. Her tone was also cheerful. Is not that exaggerated. I ate noodles while praising Su Wanru. You really are amazing. Are you this good at everything? Are you good at everything you learn? Is your first time doing anything always fast, good, and skillful? The male supporting character is so good at complimenting. It'd be strange if this didn't make the big villain's lips curve. Super love-addled brain, IQ dropping straight down. Ha ha ha, he's almost done eating. I put down my chopsticks. I called out seriously. Su Wanru. I called her too formally and seriously. The upturned corners of Su Wanru's lips immediately fell. Her whole body also instantly radiated a cold aura. She put down her chopsticks and stood up. I'm full. I still have a meeting. I'm going to the study. Why did the sweet atmosphere become strange? It's gotten a bit gloomy. His expression is serious. This expression only appears when mentioning divorce. Does Jiang Chen want to ask for a divorce again? These past few days, the male supporting character and the villain have been so sweet I forgot that they're supporting characters. Or is it the plot forcing the love? The male supporting character is so cruel. One second he was showering the big villain with praise, the next he's demanding a divorce. The big villain is about to cry like a boiling kettle again. The big villain is heartbroken. Why isn't the male supporting character going to comfort her? I looked at the comments. Then I watched Su Wanru walk away quickly, leaving only her back for me to see. She walked very fast, as if a wild beast was chasing her. Suddenly, I didn't want to comfort her at all. I even wanted to hear what the big villain Su Wanru, crying like a boiling kettle, sounds like. I glanced at the comments. They all said Su Wanru was in the study, silently shedding tears while reading documents, working to earn money for me to spend. I doubted the authenticity of the comments. There's no way Su Wanru is a crybaby. I called Su Wanru. She picked up immediately, and Su Wanru's hoarse voice came through the receiver. What is it? I want to go back to my room. My leg hurts. Come down and help me a bit. I'm in a meeting. Have a servant use the wheelchair to push you up. Su Wanru thought I had hung up, so she placed the phone face down on the table. I didn't hang up. The two are still on the call. I heard the sound of Su Wanru flipping through documents. Occasionally she would speak. The content was about work. The afternoon meeting probably isn't over. I listened for 2 minutes. The call still hadn't ended. This suddenly made me remember a detail. For the past 3 years, as long as I took the initiative to call Su Wanru, she would always pick up immediately. But when Su Wanru called me, I would hang up immediately. If she called again, I would block her number. Also, every time we talked on the phone, I was always the one to hang up first. I looked at the call interface on my phone. Another 2 minutes passed. I raised an eyebrow. Could it be that if I don't hang up first, Su Wanru won't hang up either? Because of this speculation, I didn't hang up. I directly switched to another app. I opened a game and started playing. Half an hour later, the call was still ongoing. I got bored of playing. I went to scroll through videos for a while. My phone was about to die. I opened the call interface. It showed a 150-minute call. It's been so long and she still hasn't hung up. Eavesdropped to see if Su Wanru is secretly crying like a boiling kettle steaming. I turned on the speaker. Su Wanru's nice voice came from the phone. The core technology is facing an obstacle. Then hire an expert in this field at a high price. It's not about just saying it's good enough. Even through the phone, I could feel the tense and stressful atmosphere of the meeting. Su Wanru must look very beautiful when she's working seriously, I was thinking. Suddenly, I heard Su Wanru's cold and surprised voice. You still haven't hung up? After getting angry, Su Wanru was about to look at her phone. As a result, she turned it over and found that I actually still hadn't hung up. This is the first time. Unlike before, when I'd hang up immediately after giving her an order. Not even for a minute. I replied with an Su Wanru glanced at the meeting on her computer. All the senior managers were staring at her, surprised that she answered the phone before the meeting ended. She asked me concisely, "Is there anything?" I looked down at my leg. It's something and nothing. Su Wanru frowned. Just say it. This tone is so cold. I snorted. It's nothing. Then I hung up. Su Wanru looked at the call-ended screen. She felt this was the real me. Petty. I was angry at Su Wanru. If she doesn't know how to talk properly, I'll block her number. I was angry, so I blocked Su Wanru's number. Jiang Chen is so hard to understand. He actually got angry and blocked the big villain's number. The big villain is in an important meeting. She wasn't expecting him not to have hung up. But he's the one who got angry instead. Truly speechless. Poor big villain. The male supporting character's heart is shattered, and she has to stitch it up herself. After stitching it up, she has to come and comfort the male supporting character. Just now, the big villain told the managers, "My husband is angry. I have to go comfort my husband." The vicious male supporting character is just relying on the big villain's favoritism. He's truly fearless. Can't he comfort the big villain a little? Looking at the comments, I know Su Wanru is heartbroken, but I have no desire to comfort her. She's had a crush on me for 10 years, apparently, but she's always silent, not saying a word. She even talks to me as if I am ice. The more I talk, the angrier I get. Heh. Damn it, she's not even as good as Li Qianqian. At least when Li Qianqian wanted to use me, she knew how to sweet talk and comfort me. To hell with it, you'll just divorce Suwanru. I don't believe. Suwanru's ice-cold voice came from the spiral staircase, like a low growl on the verge of fury. My mind immediately went blank. The comments also started to explode. Yo, 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 the big villain heard everything. The attic is about to open. Time to use the golden chains. The male supporting character is so shameless. He knows Li Qianqian only comforts him to use him, yet he's very happy and enjoys it. Suwanru looks so scary. Her whole body is radiating an aura that she's about to turn to the dark side. Jiang Chen can't escape this time. Jiang Chen is just a shameless man. Li Qianqian doesn't love him, but he keeps pestering her. He ignores a good woman like Suwanru who loves him. So shameless, he deserves his tragic end. I refute the comment calling him shameless. If you raise a dog that provides no emotional value, then why raise it? Now I know Li Qianqian is a scumbag girl. I don't need her anymore either. Can I turn back and start over? Besides, so what if I was truly humble because of love? Who hasn't been young and foolishly in love? Suwanru, step by step, walked down the stairs. That face as cold as frost, that terrifying aura surrounding her, really looked like the Grim Reaper had arrived. Paired with the comments saying she wanted to imprison me, wanted to chain me up, wanted me to always be naked, wanted to do me to death, it felt like there was a gloomy, horrifying soundtrack already playing. Suwanru, don't come over here. I was so scared I stood up and lifted my leg to run. It's just that, my leg was numb from sitting for 3 hours. My body directly went limp and fell. Just as I was about to hit the corner of the dining table, Suwanru reached out her long arm and pulled me directly into her embrace. Be careful, don't touch me. I reacted instinctively and pushed her away. I fell back onto the chair. Suwanru was pushed back 2 steps. Her beautiful face turned gloomy and cold. I could feel her violent aura. Thinking about the comments made me even more scared. I shrank back, looking at Suwanru. Don't be so fierce. Suwanru still said nothing. She just frowned and looked at me in silence. I found her even more terrifying. I acted weak and aggrieved. I'm just angry because I waited for you for 3 hours, and you didn't come to hug me. That's why I'm sulking and didn't let you touch me, to avoid being imprisoned, or ending up being killed by the male and female leads. I'd better coax her. Suwanru's icy expression softened. Instead of calling a maid, she went upstairs. I looked at her earnestly. You have a wife, but you don't need her. Then why did you get married? In 3 years, this was the first time I called Suwanru my wife. Suwanru froze. Wife? I nodded. Then I opened my arms towards Suwanru. Wifey, give me a hug. That one word, wife, made Suwanru freeze completely. Suwanru hugged me. Wow. Jiang Chen called Suwanru wife again. Why has the plot changed? It's gotten so sweet. The main female villain is too in love. Just a moment ago, she was angry enough to kill. Now the male supporting character calls her wife once, and she's smiling from ear to ear. The main female villain has always loved the male supporting character very much. Before he called her wife, she was already willing to give her life for him. Now that he's called her wife, she'd willingly give him her life for 10 lifetimes. Actually, Suwanru has always respected me a lot. Married for 3 years. Except for the divorce, she indulged me in everything. Even when I wanted to kill her in the end. Just for a hug, she willingly walked to her death. Her love is too self-deprecating. I looked at Suwanru. I can't imagine such a noble woman. Why would she love me so humbly? In the bedroom, Suwanru stood in front of me. Next time, if you need something, just call and tell me directly. I did call. I called for 3 straight hours. Suwanru rubbed her temples. Sorry, I thought you had hung up. She also thought I was just talking nonsense. After all, I used to find her annoying whenever I saw her, let alone letting her hug me. She looked at me and said, From now on, just give me direct orders. If once is not enough, then twice. Understand? Ordering around this queen of the business world, who would dare? But I nodded. Suwanru squatted down again. To check my ankle. She was only relieved after making sure it wasn't sprained anymore. She looked at her watch. It's getting late, let's sleep. After saying that, she turned to leave. But I gently pulled her hand back. Suwanru looked at me. Lecherous. His imagination is richer, more loving now. So lecherous, he could stick out a long tongue like Haibai Wuchang. No wonder Suwanru loves Jiang Chen to death. With this perfect body. I really want to swim in his abs. Jiang Chen took the initiative to suggest they bathe together, and she refused. It doesn't fit her character setting of imprisonment and forced love. Just now, Suwanru told Jiang Chen that he wasn't worthy. Could it be that she thinks Jiang Chen is being proactive like this just to get a divorce? To steal secrets for Li Qianqian? I frowned as I watched. Does Suwanru really think of me like that? Suwanru is not wrong. Jiang Chen is the type of person who would steal his wife's secrets for Li Qianqian. and is dead set on getting a divorce. A character setting that is both stupid and evil. I was speechless and pouted. Fine, that's the character setting in the story. Before the comments appeared, I probably would have done that. I was supposed to follow this character setting, to serve as a stepping stone for the tragic lives of the male and female leads. But now I have the comments revealing the plot, so I will definitely not follow the plot of this character setting anymore. I want to change my life. It's strange, though. Suwonru respects me so much. How did it eventually develop into imprisonment and forced love? Did something happen in between? I'm also very curious. I've been reading the comments for a long time, but they don't explain why. Anyway, Suwonru and I are supporting characters used as foils for the male and female leads. There won't be too many descriptions about us. After dinner, I sat in the living room watching Ultraman. My phone rang. I answered. Jiang Chen, come out and hang. You haven't looked for me in so long. Where have you been hiding? Zhen is my best friend since childhood. I glanced at my leg. My wife won't let me go out. It's been 7 days since I sprained my ankle. Suwonru has been working from home. If I wanted to go anywhere, I'd just call out to her. Today, my leg has healed. It doesn't hurt to walk anymore. So Suwonru just went to the company. What? Zhen's voice cracked in astonishment. You said your wife won't let you go out? Mm-hmm. Is your wife me? Just mentioning Li Qianqian name disgusts me. No. Then who is it? Suwonru. I was speechless and smirked. We've been married for 3 years. Our marriage certificate was issued by the state. Zhen, of course, knows Suwonru. Is my wife on paper. It's just that this is the first time he's heard me admit that Suwonru is my wife, and obediently stay at home. This is scarier than seeing a ghost in broad daylight. Zhen's voice cracked again. Did you have a fight with Li Qianqian? I'm even starting to doubt if you're really Jiang Chen. Come to the Dihua Club. Let's meet up and talk. I thought for a moment. The last time I was drugged was at the Dihua Club. I still haven't found out who drugged me. Zhen was also one of the people at the party last time. I didn't refuse. Okay, call our other friends too. After hanging up, I thought for a bit, and called Suwonru. She picked up immediately. I got straight to the point. Suwonru, I want to go to the Dihua Club. Suwonru frowned. She refused immediately. No. After saying that, she added in a softer tone, your leg just healed. Don't run around. It's already healed. Walking is not a problem. I flexibly rotated my ankle. It already healed 2 days ago. It doesn't hurt to walk. It was Suwonru who insisted he rest for 2 more days. Suwonru still refused. No. Suwonru, I'm just informing you. I'm not asking for your opinion. Suwonru was silent for a moment. Then she said softly, is that so? As soon as these words came out, I felt the pressure from the other end of the phone weighing down on me. I fell silent. I looked up at the comments. Lately, Jiang Chen has been treating Suwonru well. The main female villain has gotten tougher too, being so domineering with her. I love to see it. This is my main female villain. It's not that she just got tough now. Suwonru has always been like this. Authoritative and domineering. Cold and ruthless. It's just that she's always very gentle with Jiang Chen. This is the real Suwonru, her true nature. Last time, Jiang Chen was at the Dihua Club celebrating his divorce when he was drugged. As long as she still wants a husband, she definitely won't agree to let Jiang Chen go. I looked at the comments. I was surprised once again. This woman, Suwonru, is too reserved. With her habit of hiding everything in her heart and not saying it, it's very easy to cause misunderstandings. Actually, I don't need Suwonru permission to go out. But it's definitely not wrong to give her a sense of security. I lowered my voice. Wifey, can I go? I promise you'll be back very soon. The other end was silent for a moment. Then a meaningful voice came through. Suwonru voice. Say that again. I didn't understand what Suwonru meant by that. I looked up at the comments. This is killing me. How can the main female villain be so cute? Being called wife once by the male supporting character? She's so happy her soul is about to fly away. What's even cuter is... She fumbled to turn on the speakerphone. She's in the middle of a very serious business meeting. Turning on the speaker is to show off that she has a husband. This is sickeningly sweet. This type of male supporting character who needs intense feedback on love is a perfect match for Suwonru. I get it now. That reserved girl Suwonru wants me to call her wife one more time. How simple. Can't she just say it directly? The sentence "say that again" made me think I said something wrong, that I had touched her sore spot. Thank goodness for the comments. Otherwise, I would never be able to guess her thoughts. I used my manly pouting skills, wifey. Suwonru voice rose slightly. Go on, come home early. My mood soared. Then I'm off. Bye-bye, moi. I happily hung up. Suwonru looked at her phone. The corners of her lips curved up slightly. The project manager across from her was astonished. Suwonru, the so-called ice-cold CEO, was actually smiling. Dihua Club. I went straight to room 999. Just as I sat down, the door was pushed open. A figure dressed in leather from head to toe, with smoky gray hair appeared at the door. I was just about to call out to Kazhen when I saw him look at me and then step back outside. My face was full of question marks. Soon, Kazhen pushed the door open and came in again. Then he stepped back to check the room number. Number 9989, that's not wrong. He stared at me. Handsome, are you in the wrong room? I immediately grabbed a cherry tomato from the table and threw it at Kazhen. Are you my brother or not? Are your eyes that blind? You don't recognize me? Kazhen caught the cherry tomato and sat down next to me. Wow, I didn't recognize you. Kazhen looked at my face with disbelief. At this moment, the comments appeared again. Kazhen really is Jiang Chen's good friend. He went to Myanmar alone to save Jiang Chen and endured inhumane torture. By the time he came back, he was already insane. His mind wasn't clear. So heartbreaking, I want to ship their bromance. Broaden your horizons. It's a one-wife, one-husband system now. The main female villain is the wife. Kazhen is the husband. Perfect. I looked at the comments. I knew Kazhen wouldn't stab me in the back. But Kazhen was tricked by that green tea bitch into going to Myanmar to save me and was tortured to the point of insanity. I asked Kazhen seriously, "Are you in love? Is there ever a day I'm not in love?" Kazhen held his phone and said to me, "You'll be in love later too. I've already called them for you. They all look a little like Li Qianqian, guaranteed to cheer you up." Kazhen likes to call female models. He's never been in a serious relationship. The comments I read didn't say who Kazhen fell in love with, so he probably hasn't met that green tea bitch yet, I said very solemnly. Don't mention Li Qianqian anymore. Just hearing her name makes me sick. I'm a married man now. Kazhen's eyes widened as he looked at me. He stared for a long time, then put his hand on my forehead. Then he put it on his own forehead. You don't have a fever. Your brain hasn't been fried by a fever either. Why are you talking such nonsense? I looked at him annoyed. I'm being serious with you. From now on, don't say things like Li Qianqian is my wife. Su Wanru will get angry. Kazhen sized me up. Kazhen's two hands slapped his thighs in excitement. You finally wiped the dog shit from your eyes. You finally stopped eating this piece of dog shit, Li Qianqian. You finally realized Li Qianqian can't compare to Su Wanru. Awesome! I cut him off, speechless. Stop with the awesome. You knew Li Qianqian was dog shit, but you didn't even try to pull me back. You made me waste so many years on her. I felt sorry for Kazhen's thighs that he just slapped in vain. Kazhen chuckled. You're more stubborn than 9 bulls. How could I possibly pull you back? Besides, as long as you're happy. If you wanted to taste whether shit was salty or bland, I'd even take a hot dump for you. So for all these years, you've been calling female models who look like Li Qianqian for me. Kazhen raised his eyebrows at me. What do you think? Am I a good enough brother? I really have you to thank for that. Kazhen asked very curiously. Why the sudden enlightenment? You don't like Li Qianqian anymore? I couldn't talk about the plot-revealing comments. I cleared my throat and said unnaturally, because I slept with Su Wanru. Pfft. Kazhen, who was drinking, spat it all out. He almost sprayed the two men, who had just pushed the door open. Lin Yufeng was walking in front. He frowned and cursed. Kazhen, what are you doing? You almost puked all over me. Yu Bayan, who followed behind, asked with concern. Brother Zhen, are you okay? Kazhen was very excited and ignored Lin Yufeng's words. He turned his head to look at me. I'm fine. It's Jiang Chen who's in big trouble. Lin Yufeng sat down next to me and immediately took out my precious bottle of wine to drink. Did Jiang Chen and Li Qianqian get caught in bed by the great Miss Su? I frowned at him. Yu Bayan was very worried. Brother Chen, what happened? Do you need any help? Kazhen spoke extremely loudly into the microphone. Jiang Chen slept with Su Wanru. The whole room echoed with Kazhen's words. This volume really seemed to want to announce to the whole world that I had slept with Su Wanru. I snatched the microphone. The wine glass in Lin Yufeng's hand was about to be crushed. Brother Zhen, you can't just say things like that. This isn't something to be proud of. I frowned at Lin Yufeng. Su Wanru and I are a legally recognized married couple. What's not to be proud of about us sleeping together? Kazhen nodded vigorously. That's right. 1. It's not premarital sex. 2. It's not an affair. What part of it is not honorable? A flash of jealousy appeared on Lin Yufeng's face. But Jiang Chen likes Li Qianqian. He slept with the great Miss Su. His body is no longer pure. Won't Li Qianqian despise Jiang Chen for it? What he said was similar to what Zhang Jingnian said. I frowned at him. Lin Yufeng explained awkwardly. I was afraid Jiang Chen was forced by the great Miss Su. Jiang Chen cares about Li Qianqian so much. What if he does something rash? This is the key point. Makes sense. Kazhen hurriedly asked me. Did Su Wanru force you? As soon as this was mentioned, I became very shy. I was the one who slept with Su Wanru. Kazhen gave me a thumbs up. You dared to sleep with the great demon king Su Wanru. Your courage is commendable. Later, he'll call 18 female models for you to celebrate. I was speechless and twisted my lips. Stop messing around. I want to live a peaceful life with Suanru. Kizhen sighed and exclaimed, his face full of teasing. Lin Yufeng's expression was very ugly. Jiang Chen isn't getting a divorce anymore? Then what about Li Qianqian? Li Qianqian again. I announced very seriously. I declare that I will never like Li Qianqian again. From now on, whoever ships me with Li Qianqian, I will cut ties with them. My expression showed that this wasn't said in a fit of anger. Kizhen was the first to clap. Yu Baiyan smiled gently. Lin Yufeng's mouth twitched stiffly. He revealed a worried look. He looked up and suggested to me in a low voice, marriage isn't about looks or money. You have to marry the woman you love to be happy. Having been backstabbed by Zhang Jingnian, I am very sensitive to this kind of thing. I frowned at Lin Yufeng. You seem to really want me to divorce Su Wanru? Lin Yufeng said. It's not that I want you to get a divorce, but I support you in pursuing your happiness. I looked at Lin Yufeng in silence, analyzing the sincerity in his words. Lin Yufeng was a bit creeped out by my stare. He hurriedly said, if the one Zhang Chen loves is the great Miss Su, I fully support you not getting a divorce, without the comments. I would have started to suspect Lin Yufeng, wouldn't I? Lin Yufeng hummed in agreement, and changed the subject. He asked gossipingly, Zhang Chen, why did you sleep with the great Miss Su? Didn't you hate her the most? Hearing this, Keizen also started to get nosy. What kind of dog's liver did Zhang Chen eat? Let me have a piece too. Next time I meet my goddess, I'll also take the initiative. This is the reason I called them all here tonight, because on that night of the divorce celebration, in this very room, I was drugged, which is why I slept with Suwanru. As I said these words, I calmly observed the three of them. Keizen stood up with a bottle, ready to hit someone. What? You were drugged? Who has a death wish? Lin Yufeng panicked and knocked over his wine glass. Yu Baiyan looked at me with concern. Brother Chen, are you okay now? Is that poison harmful to the body? Have you been to the hospital to get it checked? I definitely trust Keizen. So I focused on observing Lin Yufeng and Yu Baiyan. Just by looking at their expressions, I couldn't tell. But I instinctively suspected Lin Yufeng. The golden comments appeared. Lin Yufeng is too good at pretending. He was the one who drugged Zhang Chen. And now he's playing dumb here. The foolish male supporting character was played like a fiddle by him. Lin Yufeng is an ungrateful white-eyed wolf. The Zhang family sponsored him for over 10 years. He never thought of repaying their kindness, only thought of ways to replace me. Moreover, from the first time he met Su Wanru, he thought of ways to steal her. He lured Zhang Chen into divorcing Su Wanru, and also instigated Zhang Chen to do bad things against the male lead. Then he conspired with Zhang Jingnian to sell Zhang Chen to Myanmar. Clearly, Lin Yufeng is the real vicious male supporting character. What a pity, there's no proof that Lin Yufeng drugged him, otherwise Su Wanru would have found out and dealt with him long ago. Looking at the comments, I wasn't surprised, but I was also very surprised. I wasn't surprised that the one who backstabbed me was Lin Yufeng. I was very surprised that Lin Yufeng would backstab me, so ruthlessly. Lin Yufeng, under my cold gaze, felt his hair stand on end. He laughed guiltily, trying to ease the atmosphere. I looked at him and spoke slowly. Actually, I already know who drugged me. I just wanted to give him a chance to confess. Keizen slammed the table. What chance? Just spit it out. Throw him in the police station to rot in jail. Lin Yufeng acted wronged. It definitely wasn't me. I was sponsored and raised by Chen father. I have to follow Zhang Chen for my whole life. If something happens to Zhang Chen, I'm done for too. Keizen and Lin Yufeng turned to look at Yu Baiyan. Yu Baiyan felt suspected. He looked at Keizen, aggrieved. I wouldn't do anything illegal. There were other people there at the time. Why are you only suspecting me? I smiled and looked at Lin Yufeng. I don't suspect Baiyan. Keizen keenly shifted his gaze to Lin Yufeng. Yu Baiyan also looked over. The suspicious gazes of all three people fell on him. Lin Yufeng exploded instantly. He stood up in a rage. What do you guys mean by this? Are you all suspecting me of drugging Zhang Chen? If I drugged Zhang Chen, may my whole family die, and may I be hit by a car and die when I go out. He looks more wrong than Daoyi. If it weren't for the Don Maku revealing it in advance, I would have really believed him. I didn't suspect you originally, but you're acting so agitated. It's making me suspicious. Lin Yufeng looked at me heartbroken. You don't believe me? I nodded casually. Yeah, I don't believe you. Lin Yufeng's eyes reddened with grievance. Why don't you believe me? I couldn't even be bothered to make up a reason. Because you look like a bad guy. Does it have to be only when I'm dead that you'll believe me? I raised my eyebrows. With a crash. Lin Yufeng smashed a wine bottle. He pointed a sharp shard of glass at his own wrist. You don't believe me? Then I'll use death to prove it to you. I reached out to take the glass shard from Lin Yufeng's hand. Don't be like that. Lin Yufeng heaved a sigh of relief. He knows how to manipulate my Zhang Chen. I knew it, he just started to feel happy. When I shoved a sharp fruit knife into his right hand, I grabbed Lin Yufeng's right hand and placed the knife on his left wrist. I looked up and smiled at him. This is where the main artery is. Slash down hard with the knife. Fresh blood will splash all over my face. Only then can you prove your sincerity with death. Lin Yufeng shivered. I glanced indifferently at the fruit knife. Need my help? Even Yu Bainian felt his hair stand on end watching this. He opened his mouth to plead on his behalf. Keizhen stopped him. Lin Yufeng gritted his teeth and closed his eyes. The knife made a deep gash. The moment Yu Bainian saw fresh blood gushing out, his face turned pale and he shot up. His voice trembled. I'll call an ambulance for you. Lin Yufeng held up his bleeding wrist for me to see. Jiang Chen. Can you believe me now? I looked at his wound, not very satisfied. I'll believe you for now. Lin Yufeng was furious, but he could only suppress his anger. He looked up and gave me a faint smile. That's good then. Don't doubt me anymore in the future. It's very hurtful. I said nothing. The atmosphere was a bit awkward and stifling. Lin Yufeng couldn't sit still any longer. Jiang Chen. I'm bleeding too much. I'm going to the hospital first. Only then did I speak up. Go ahead. Lin Yufeng stared at me for a moment. I didn't say I'd go to the hospital with him, nor did I say I'd give him my supplementary card to use. Just a simple, go ahead. Lin Yufeng left, feeling wronged. Brother Zhen, Brother Chen, you guys carry on. They'll go with him to the hospital. Yu Bainian chased after them, worried, in front of the Dihua clubhouse. Yu Bainian and Lin Yufeng stood by the roadside waiting for a car. Lin Yufeng immediately saw a car approaching from the front. It was a Maybach with the license plate gold 999. He turned and stood right at the entrance to the garage, waiting for the Maybach to enter. Yan Ruyu recognized him. He rolled down the car window and stuck his head out to ask Lin Yufeng, Mr. Lin, Mr. Yu, is something wrong? Yu Bainian was about to say it was nothing. But Lin Yufeng was faster. He raised his blood-soaked left hand and said with a pale face, Sister-in-law, my hand got injured because of Jiang Chen. It's so hard to get a car right now. Could I trouble you to take me to the hospital, sister-in-law? Hearing my name? Su Wanru finally rolled down the car window. She frowned as she looked at Lin Yufeng's wrist. Your hand was injured because of Jiang Chen? Lin Yufeng nodded with a pale face. At this moment, I rejected the 18 beautiful white models that Keizhen wanted to call for me and stepped out of the private room. After reading the Danmaku, I hastily pushed Su Wanru away. I backed out of the room. An important secret. Then I won't go in. Then what did you come up here for? Su Wanru still asked him coldly. Jiang Chen isn't going in to see. Su Wanru is so disappointed. That 10-year secret crush that can't see the light of day. Still has to be hidden. Su Wanru is also very scared of being caught. Scared that Jiang Chen will see her other side. Gloomy, scary, insane. He would think she's a pervert, lurking in the shadows, and hate her even more, stay away from her. She's terrified of Jiang Chen seeing her like this. I'm quite curious, but I don't dare to go investigate the attic. After all, I don't have many feelings for Su Wanru right now, and she doesn't trust me enough either. She always feels that I'm still in love with Li Qianqian before I have enough of her trust. I can't go into the attic and expose her secret, lest I bring about my own loss of freedom. I looked up at Su Wanru. I just want to explain something to you. Just now when you kissed me? I called out Li. Su Wanru interrupted very indifferently. You don't need to explain. I don't mind. Kissing you just now was just a man's physiological desires. If you have nothing else, you can go downstairs now. Don't come to the attic anymore in the future. Damn tsundere, her heart is already broken into pieces. And she's still here pretending not to care. Male supporting character, we are pure evil, don't pay attention to him, slap him 100 times in a row, slap that stubborn mouth of his, slap it to a pulp, and then throw a let's divorce at him from above, so hell stop speaking nonsense. Serves her right to not have a husband. I was a little tempted. I felt it was a very good idea. I moved my wrist, about to slap him. This is really a good idea. Activate the max level obsessive imprisonment mode. We'll have meat to eat every meal, finding faults in the meat. Let Jiang Chen slap the female villain's face. Isn't that a reward for sure? This could make the female villain so happy she can't sleep all night. Seeing the Danmaku comments getting more and more perverted, I got so scared I quickly pulled my hand back. I have to live normally with Su Wanru. Regardless of love or money, none are as precious as freedom. I looked up at Su Wanru. I casually found an excuse. I didn't just come here to explain things to you, but also because I'm hungry. Su Wanru frowned at him. Hungry? I nodded vigorously. Yeah, very hungry. Su Wanru felt I was a little strange. If you're hungry, go downstairs and find Auntie Zhang. The kitchen has probably already finished making dinner. That cold face seemed to be saying, Why are you looking for me if you're hungry? I was a little angry. I want to eat the noodles you make. Could I trouble the great Miss Su, the noble lady, to cook me a bowl of noodles? After I finished asking angrily, I turned and limped away. Su Wanru was stunned for a moment. She chased after me and supported me. Speak properly. Don't be sarcastic. Your leg hasn't healed. Don't walk around aimlessly. I struggled symbolically a couple of times. I huffed angrily. You're the one who isn't speaking properly. You wear a sour face all day long, as if I owe you hundreds of millions. Suwanru saw me getting angry. My cheeks were all puffed up, like a little goldfish. This was a side of me I had never shown her before. The corners of Ru's lips curved up slightly, then quickly flattened. What does she mean by Do I really owe her money? It's not just hundreds of millions. It's tens of billions, hundreds of billions. It's an unpayable debt. I blinked my eyes, even more confused. How could I owe Suwanru so much money? A debt from a past life? The villainous male supporting character's dazed face is so cute. How can he be so adorable? What on earth is going on in that handsome head of his, that he can have such a clueless expression? He must be thinking about what the female villain said, that he owes her hundreds of millions. He thinks he doesn't owe her a single penny. Our car has already gotten on the highway, and the villainous male supporting character is still clueless. Is that a monetary debt? The debt is a life debt. The lives of your descendants are also lives. That's not wrong, ha ha ha. The clueless, villainous male supporting character is so cute. I read the comments one by one. My brain soon understood what the Danmaku was talking about. I blushed and closed my eyes. I didn't dare to look at the Danmaku anymore. I went to the dining room and sat down. Suwanru looked at my leg and instructed, "Sit here and don't move around. If you need anything, call a maid to get it." I was really hungry, and my leg hurt too, so I nodded obediently. You only want to eat noodles?" I heard her gentle voice, and my eyes widened in surprise. Her voice can be gentle? Isn't it usually as cold as ice? I thought this woman's mouth had been frozen in a 30-degree cold storage. Suwanru said patiently, "How do you want your noodles?" "I don't know either. I just said it on a whim, so I'm thinking." The Danmaku scrolled past my eyes again. "Of course, below." I've started getting used to these dirty comments, so I just ignored it. I looked up and said to Suwanru with a smile, "Any kind of noodles is fine, as long as you're the one cooking. I'll like it." She secretly loved him for 10 years. I have to give her some sweet talk too, to avoid being imprisoned out of love later. Hearing my words, her whole body froze. The corners of her mouth couldn't help but curve up. "Okay, I'll wait for you." She turned and quickly walked into the kitchen. Zhang Chen gave a smile. The female villain's smile is like the Nike logo now, so easy to bait. I told you the female villain is a love-struck fool. I don't even need to say or do anything. I just need to give him a look, and he automatically offers up his 520 IQ, becoming Zhang Chen's #1 simp. Suwanru went into the kitchen. I sat in the dining room scrolling through videos. "The noodles are ready," I heard Suwanru's voice. I looked up towards the kitchen and saw Suwanru wearing an apron, elegantly pushing out a food cart. I was a little speechless. Does a bowl of noodles really require a cart? People who didn't know would think I was having dinner at a 5-star hotel. Suwanru pushed the food cart to the table. There were a lot of ingredients in the kitchen, so I made a few more types of noodles. "See which bowl you like." She placed the bowls of noodles from the cart onto the dining table. Yangchun noodles, pork rib noodles, seafood noodles, braised noodles, hot and sour noodles, instant noodles. I looked at each bowl of noodles, steaming hot and laid out before me. I was shocked again and again. Suwanru saw me remain silent. Her body stiffened, and she asked with a frown, "You don't like any of them?" I quickly replied, "I like them. It just feels very exaggerated. I just wanted to eat one bowl of noodles. You didn't have to cook so many bowls, and with different flavors too." Suwanru's face turned cold. She spoke very indifferently, casually. "I didn't intentionally cook them for you. It's just that there were too many ingredients in the kitchen, so I just happened to cook a little more." She handed me the chopsticks. "Eat quickly. They'll get soggy if you leave them for too long. Try a little of each bowl. See which flavor you like." I looked at her indifferent and casual expression. It seemed like she really did just cook them casually, and not intentionally for me. Someone who's in the kitchen for the first time, and it's just happened? The female villain lies without blushing. If she weren't afraid of Zhang Chen being hungry, she would have wanted to cook a whole Manchu-Han imperial feast. What are just 7 or 8 bowls of noodles? The female villain cooking noodles for her husband for the first time. She's afraid her husband won't be satisfied with her. She's so nervous. Villainous male supporting character, don't just focus on eating. Hurry and give the female villain some feedback. Otherwise, that apron is about to be crumpled into a mess. I had just taken a bite of the Yangchun noodles. I looked up at Suwanru. She stood opposite me with a proud look on her face. Her hands seemed to be moving. Is she really so nervous that she's wringing her apron? Then I looked at her deep, dark eyes, staring at me intently, like a kitten waiting to be praised. I put down my chopsticks. I looked up, my eyes sparkling as I gazed at Suwanru. "Suwanru, you're really amazing. To be able to use such simple ingredients to cook, such delicious Yangchun noodles. Have you ever studied cooking professionally and gotten a golden chef certificate?" Suwanru's dark eyes gradually brightened with praise. She probably wished she could rush into the kitchen and make me a Manchu-Han imperial feast. Her cold face also had a rare blush. The corners of her mouth couldn't help but curve upwards. She tried to suppress it but couldn't. Never learned, it's my first time in the kitchen. Wow. My gaze towards Su Wanru became even more adoring. It's really your first time in the kitchen? Unbelievable. You're even better than a golden chef. The corners of Su Wanru's lips were still turned up. Her tone was also cheerful. It's not that exaggerated. I ate my noodles while praising Su Wanru. You're really so skilled. Are you this good at everything? Do you learn everything very quickly? Doing something for the first time, and you're fast, good, and skilled. The male supporting character really knows how to praise. It'd be strange if this didn't make the female villain grin from ear to ear. That super love-struck brain with a plummeting IQ. Ha ha ha, I'm almost done eating. I put down my chopsticks. I called out to Su Wanru with a serious face. I called her too formally and seriously. The upturned corners of Su Wanru's mouth immediately fell. She also began to exude a cold aura. She put down her chopsticks and stood up. I am full. I have a meeting. I'm going to the study. How did the sweet atmosphere become so strange? It's gotten a bit gloomy. His expression is serious. He only has that kind of expression when he brings up divorce. Does Jiang Chen want to ask for a divorce again? These past few days of the sweet villainous supporting character made me forget. They are supporting characters. Is it still a forced love plot? The male supporting character is so cruel. One second he was praising the female villain to the skies, and the next he's asking for a divorce. The female villain is about to cry like a boiling kettle again. The female villain is heartbroken. Why isn't the male supporting character comforting her? I looked at the Danmaku. Then I watched Su Wanru stride away, leaving only her back for me to see. She walked very fast, as if a wild beast was chasing her. Suddenly, I didn't feel like comforting her at all. I even wanted to hear how the female villain Su Wanru cries like a boiling kettle. I glanced at the Danmaku. They all said Su Wanru was in the study, silently shedding tears while reading documents, working to earn money for me to spend. I doubted the authenticity of the Danmaku. There's no way Su Wanru is a crybaby. I called Su Wanru. She picked up immediately, and Su Wanru's hoarse voice came through the receiver. What's wrong? I want to go back to my room. My leg hurts. Come down and help me up. I'm in a meeting. Have a maid push you up in a wheelchair. Su Wanru thought I had hung up, so she placed the phone face down on the table. I didn't hang up. The two of them are still on the call. I could hear Su Wanru flipping through documents and occasionally speaking. The content was about work. The afternoon meeting probably isn't over yet. I listened for 2 minutes. The phone still hadn't been hung up. This suddenly reminded me of a detail. For the past 3 years, as long as I took the initiative to call Su Wanru, she would always pick up immediately. But if Su Wanru called me, I would hang up immediately. If she called again, I'd just hang up straight away. Also, every time we talked on the phone, I was always the one to hang up first. I looked at the call interface on my phone. Another 2 minutes passed. I raised my eyebrows. Could it be that if I don't hang up first, Su Wanru won't hang up either? Because of this speculation, I didn't hang up. I switched straight to another app and opened a game to play. Half an hour later, the call was still ongoing. I got tired of playing, so I scrolled through some videos for a while. My phone was about to run out of battery. I opened the call interface. It showed the call had been going for 150 minutes. She still hasn't hung up after so long. Eavesdropped to see if Su Wanru is secretly crying like a boiling kettle. I turned on the speakerphone. Su Wanru's pleasant voice came from the phone. The core technology has hit a bottleneck. Then hire experts in this field at a high price, instead of just saying it's passable. I could feel it even through the phone. The atmosphere of the meeting was very heavy and oppressive. Su Wanru's serious work demeanor must be very beautiful, I was thinking, when I suddenly heard Su Wanru's cold and surprised voice. You still haven't hung up? Su Wanru, after losing her temper, was about to check her phone, but when she turned it over, she discovered I still hadn't hung up. This is the first time, unlike before, where he'd hang up right after giving her an order, in less than a minute. I replied with a Su Wanru glanced at the meeting on her computer. The senior managers all stared at her with wide eyes, surprised that she answered the phone before the meeting was over. She asked me curtly, "Is something wrong?" I looked down at my leg. Yes and no. Su Wanru frowned. Just say it. That voice is so cold. I huffed, nothing, and hung up. Su Wanru looked at the ended call screen, feeling that this was the real me, extremely childish. I got angry. Angry at Su Wanru. If you can't talk properly, I'll block you. I'm angry. I blocked Su Wanru. Jiang Chen is so hard to understand. He got mad over that and blocked the female villain. The female villain is in an important meeting. She wasn't expecting him not to have hung up. And he gets all pouty. I'm speechless. Poor female villain. Her heart is shattered to pieces by the male supporting character, and she has to mend it herself. After mending it, she has to go and comfort the male supporting character. Just now, the female villain told the managers, "My husband is angry. I have to go coax my husband." The villainous male supporting character is just taking advantage of the female villain's favoritism. He's so spoiled that he's fearless. Can't he just comfort the female villain? Looking at the Danmaku. I know Su Wanru is heartbroken, but I don't feel like comforting her at all. She secretly loved me for 10 years, but was always so quiet. and when she talked to me, she was as cold as ice. The more I talk about it, the angrier I get. Heh. Damn it, she's not even as good as Li Qianqian. At least when Li Qianqian wanted to use me, she knew how to sweet-talk and coax me. He'll just divorce Suwanru regardless of everything. I don't believe. Suwanru's ice-cold shout echoed from the spiral staircase, as if roaring on the verge of fury. My mind immediately went blank. The Danmaku also began to explode. Yo, the female villain heard everything. The attic is about to be opened. The golden chains are ready to be used. The male supporting character is so shameless. He knows Li Qianqian is using him to get him to coax her, and yet he's very happy, very much enjoying it. Suwanru looks so scary. Her whole body is radiating an aura that she's about to turn to the dark side. Jiang Chen can't escape this time. Jiang Chen is a despicable man. Li Qianqian doesn't love him at all. He just has to cling to her. Ignoring a good woman like Suwanru and not loving her. So despicable. He deserves it. Such a tragic ending. I object to the comment calling him despicable. If you raise a dog without any emotional value, then what's the point of raising it? Now that I know Li Qianqian is a green tea bitch, I don't need her anymore either. Can I be a prodigal son who returns? Besides, so what if I'm debasing myself for love? Who hasn't been blindly in love in their youth? Suwanru, step by step, descended from the stairs, that face as cold as ice. The frightening aura emanating from her, it's really like the Grim Reaper has arrived, combined with the comments saying she wants to imprison me, wants to tie me up with chains, wants me to be naked, wants to torture me to death. It feels like she has her own creepy background music. Suwanru, don't come over here. I was so scared I stood up, intending to run away. It's just that, my legs were numb from sitting for 3 hours, my body went limp and fell directly, just as I was about to hit the corner of the dining table. Suwanru reached out her long arm and pulled me straight into her embrace. Careful, don't touch me. Startled, I pushed her away. I fell back into my chair. Suwanru was pushed back 2 steps. Her beautiful face became gloomy and cold. I could feel her violent aura. Thinking of the comments made me even more terrified. I shrank back and looked at Suwanru. Don't be so fierce. Suwanru still didn't say anything. She just frowned and looked at me silently. I felt she was even scarier. I acted weak and wronged. I'm just angry because I waited for you for 3 hours. You didn't even come to hug me? That's why I'm sulking and didn't let you touch me, to avoid being imprisoned or being killed by the male and female leads. It's better to appease her. Suwanru's icy expression softened. Didn't I tell the servant to wheel you upstairs? I looked at her eagerly. I have a wife, but I don't use her. And what did I marry a wife for? It's been 3 years. This is the first time I've called Suwanru wife. Suwanru's whole body stiffened. Wife? Mom. I nodded. Then I opened my arms towards Suwanru. Wifey hugged me. A single call of wifey made Suwanru freeze. Suwanru hugged me. Jiang Chen actually called Suwanru wife. How did the plot change? It's become so sweet. The big female villain was so cute just now. Now that the male supporting character called her wife. She is grinning from ear to ear. The big female villain has always loved the male supporting character a lot. Before he called her wife, she was willing to give her life for him. Now that he's called her wife, she'd be willing to give him 10 lifetimes. Actually, Suwanru has always respected me a lot. Married for 3 years, except for the divorce, she went along with whatever I wanted, even when I wanted to kill her in the end. She, just for a hug, willingly walked to her death. Her love is so self-deprecating. I looked at Suwanru. I can't imagine such a noble woman, why she would love me so humbly. In the bedroom, Suwanru stood before me. From now on, just call and tell me directly. I did call. I even called for 3 straight hours. Suwanru rubbed her temples. Sorry, I thought you had hung up. She also thought I was just saying it casually. After all, I used to hate the sight of her, let alone let her hug me. She looked at me and said, from now on, just give direct orders. If once isn't enough, then twice. Understand? Ordering this queen of the business world who would dare. But I nodded. Suwanru squatted down again to check my ankle. She was only relieved after confirming it wasn't sprained anymore. She looked at her wristwatch. It's getting late. Let's go to sleep. After saying that, she turned to leave, but her hand was gently held back by me. Suwanru looked at me and asked, is there anything else? I haven't showered yet. I stared at her and gave a direct order. You bathe me. Suwanru leaned down, placing her hands on either side of my bed, slowly approaching. In an instant, she had me cornered in her embrace. My body could only lean back slowly, but her rich breath still enveloped me. I felt like I was about to be pushed onto the bed. I raised my hand to block her chest, not letting her get any closer. What are you doing? Only then did Suwanru stop. She looked down at me with a deep gaze. We're a married couple after all. This is also fulfilling our marital duties. The corners of Suwanru's eyes reddened. She quickly walked out. When she came back, she was holding a small stool. She told me to sit on the small pink plastic stool. She took down the shower head, adjusted the water temperature, and unlocked a new bathing position for me. Suwanru placed the temperature-adjusted shower head into my hand. She looked at me with a deep and serious gaze. He's not worth it. After saying that, she left. That's confusing again. Get my pajamas for me. After saying that, I added, and my underwear too. Not long after, Suwanru walked in with my pajamas. Her finger was hooked on the red underwear I had specified. She looked at me, a different style from last night's. Last night's style was gray. I always used to think, what if with Li Qianqian, in the heat of passion, gray would look bigger? If anything happens, call me. I'll be waiting for you outside. Suwanru gave me a deep look. Then she closed the door and went out. I looked at the frosted glass bathroom door. It reflected the silhouette of Suwanru leaning against the doorframe. I could see she was on the phone. I could also hear her talking about work. There was a silhouette. There was a sound, which proved she was still there, and this was only because she was afraid I would fall in the shower, so I could call her in time if anything happened. For some reason, I felt a warmth in my heart. I took off my clothes and started to shower while sitting. The comments started scrolling frantically again. Why is it blurred out? But a richer imagination is even better. I like it more. So sexy that even the Haibai Wu Chang would stick their tongues out. No wonder Su Wanro loves Jiang Chen to death and back. This amazing body. I really want to swim in his abs. Jiang Chen already took the initiative to ask her to bathe with him, and yet she refused. It doesn't fit her image of imprisonment and forced love. Su Wanru just told Jiang Chen he wasn't worth it. Doesn't she think Jiang Chen is being proactive like this for the divorce? To steal secrets for Li Qianqian? I frowned as I watched. Su Wanru thinks. My Su Wanru is not wrong. Jiang Chen is exactly the kind of person who steals his wife's secrets for Li Qianqian and is bent on getting a divorce, a stupid and vile character. I was speechless and pouted. Fine, the character in the book is like that. Before the comments, I probably would have really done that. I was supposed to follow that character archetype, to serve as a backdrop for the tragic lives of the male and female leads. But now I have the plot-revealing comments, so I definitely won't follow the plot of this character anymore. I want to change my life. Speaking of which, it's strange Su Wanru respects me so much. How did it end up escalating to imprisonment and forced love? Did something happen in between? I'm also very curious. I've been watching the comments for a long time, and it hasn't explained why. After all, Su Wanru and I are just supporting characters used as foils for the male and female leads. There won't be too many detailed descriptions. After dinner, I was sitting in the living room watching Ultraman. My phone rang. I answered the call. Jiang Chen, come out and hang out. You haven't looked for me in so long. Where have you been hiding? Kijen is my best friend since childhood. I glanced at my leg. My wife won't let me go out. It's been 7 days since I sprained my ankle. Su Wanru has been working from home. If I wanted to go anywhere, I'd just call out to her. Today my leg is healed. It doesn't hurt to walk anymore, so Su Wanru just went to the company. What? Kizen was so shocked his voice cracked. You said your wife won't let you go out? Yeah. Is your wife Li Qianqian? I'm disgusted just hearing Li Qianqian's name. It's not her. Then who is it? Who else but Su Wanru? I was speechless and pouted. We've been married for 3 years with the government-issued marriage certificate, of course. Kizen knew that Su Wanru was my wife on paper. It's just that this was the first time he'd heard me acknowledge Su Wanru as my wife and obediently staying at home. This was scarier than seeing a ghost in broad daylight. Kizen's voice cracked again. Did you have a fight with Li Qianqian? I even suspect you might have seen. Come to the Dihua Club. Let's meet up and talk. I thought for a moment. I was drugged at the Dihua Club last time, and I still haven't found out who drugged me. Kizen was also at that gathering last time, so I didn't refuse. Yeah, call the other friends too. After hanging up, I thought for a moment and called Su Wanru. She answered immediately, and I said directly, Su Wanru, I want to go to the Dihua Club. Su Wanru frowned and refused flatly. No. After saying that, she added in a softer tone, your leg just healed. Don't run around. It's healed already. It's no problem to walk. I flexibly rotated my ankle. It was healed 2 days ago. It doesn't hurt to walk. It was Su Wanru who insisted I rest for 2 more days. Su Wanru still refused. No, Su Wanru, I'm just informing you, not asking for your opinion. Su Wanru was silent for a moment. Then she said casually, is that so? The moment she spoke, I felt the pressure. Coming from the other end of the line, I fell silent and looked up at the comments. Recently, Jiang Chen has been treating Su Wanru well, so the big female villain has toughened up too. Being so domineering towards him, I love to see it. This is my big female villain. It's not that she's just toughened up now. Su Wanru has always been like this. Despotic and domineering, cold and ruthless. It's just that she has always been very gentle with Jiang Chen. This side of Su Wanru is her true nature. It was at the Dihua Club last time that Jiang Chen was drugged while celebrating his divorce. As long as she still wants her husband, she definitely won't agree to let Jiang Chen go. I looked at the comments and was once again surprised. This Su Wanru is so tsundere. Her personality of keeping everything to herself without saying it out loud is the easiest to cause misunderstandings. Actually, I don't need Su Wanru's permission to go out, but it's definitely not wrong to give her a sense of security. I lowered my voice. Wifey, can I go? I promise I'll be back very soon. The other end of the line was silent for a moment before Su Wanru's ambiguous voice came through. Say that again? I didn't understand what Su Wanru meant by that. I looked up at the comments. I'm dying of laughter. How can the big female villain be so cute? Just by being called wife by the male supporting character? She's over the moon with joy. What's even cuter is, she fumbled to turn on the speakerphone. She's in the middle of a serious business meeting. Turning on speakerphone is to show off that she has a husband. This is killing me with sweetness. A male supporting character who needs intense romantic feedback is a perfect match for Su Wanru. I get it now. Su Wanru, that sundry girl, wants me to call her wife one more time. How simple. Couldn't she just say it directly? A single sentence? Say that again? Made me think I'd said something wrong and touched a nerve. Thankfully, there are the comments, otherwise it'd be impossible to guess her thoughts. I used my pretty boy wheedling skills. Wifey. Su Wanru's voice went up slightly. Go on, come home early. My mood's soared. Then I'm off. Bye, moi, moi. I hung up happily. Su Wanru looked at her phone, the corners of her lips turning up slightly. The project manager opposite her was astonished. Su Wanru, known as the ice-cold CEO, was actually smiling. Dahua Club. I went straight to room 999. Just as I sat down, the door was pushed open. Dressed in a leather outfit, Kazhen with his smoky gray hair appeared at the door. I was just about to call Kazhen when I saw him glance at me, then back out again. I was full of question marks. Very quickly, Kazhen pushed the door open again, then stepped back to look at the room number. Number 9999. Not wrong. He stared at me. Handsome. Are you in the wrong room? I grabbed a cherry tomato from the table and threw it at Kazhen. Are we brothers or not? Are you blind? You don't recognize me. Kazhen caught the cherry tomato and sat down next to me. Damn, I didn't recognize you. Kazhen stared in disbelief. At this moment, the comments appeared again. Kazhen is indeed Zhang Chen's die-hard best friend. To save Zhang Chen, he went to Myanmar alone, endured inhuman torture, and went insane after coming back. His mind wasn't clear. Heartbreaking. I want to ship their bromance. Open your eyes. It's a monogamous system now. The big female villain is the wife. Kazhen is the husband. Perfect. I looked at the comments. I knew Kazhen wouldn't backstab me, but Kazhen was tricked by a green tea bitch into going to Myanmar to save someone and was tortured to insanity. I asked Kazhen seriously, are you in love? I fall in love every day. Kazhen held his phone and told me, you'll be in love in a moment too. I've already called them for you. They all look a little like Li Qianqian, guaranteed to cheer you up. Kazhen likes to call female models. He's never been in a serious relationship. The comments didn't say who Kazhen loves, so he probably hasn't met the green tea bitch yet, I said very solemnly. Don't mention Li Qianqian anymore. Just hearing her name makes me sick. I'm a married man now? Kazhen's eyes widened as he looked at me. After staring for a long time, he placed his hand on my forehead, then on his own. No fever. Your brain isn't waterlogged either. Why are you talking nonsense? I looked at him, annoyed. I'm being serious with you. From now on, don't say things like Li Qianqian is my wife. Su Wanru will get angry. Kazhen looked at me scrutinizingly. Kazhen forcefully slapped his thighs with both hands, extremely excited. You finally wiped the dog shit from your eyes. You finally stopped eating Li Qianqian's dog shit. You finally realized Li Qianqian is no match for Su Wanru. Enough. I cut him off. Speechless. No more finally. You knew Li Qianqian was dog shit, but you didn't know how to pull me back. You let me waste so many years on her. It's a waste of pity for the thighs Kazhen just slapped. Kazhen sneered. You're more stubborn than 9 oxen. How could I possibly pull you back? Besides, as long as you were happy, if you wanted to stir-fry meat with preserved eggs, I would even give you a fresh, hot pile. So for all these years, you've always been calling female models who look like Li Qianqian for me. Kazhen raised his eyebrows at me. How's that? Am I a good enough brother? Thanks a lot, Kazhen asked very curiously. How did you suddenly become enlightened and stop liking Li Qianqian? I couldn't tell him about the plot, revealing comments. I coughed and said unnaturally, because I slept with Su Wanru. Puffed. Kazhen, who was drinking, spat it all out. He almost sprayed it all over the 2 men, who had just pushed the door open. Lin Yufeng was walking in front. He frowned and cursed. Kazhen, what are you doing? You almost puked all over me? Yu Baiyan followed behind and asked with concern, Brother Zhen, are you okay? Kazhen was very excited and ignored Lin Yufeng's words. He tilted his head to look at me. I'm fine. It's Zhang Chen, who's in big trouble. Lin Yufeng sat down next to me and immediately started drinking my expensive wine. Were Zhang Chen and Li Qianqian caught in bed by the great Miss Su? I frowned at him. Yu Baiyan was very worried. Brother Chen, what's wrong? Do you need help? Kazhen used the microphone to say very loudly, Zhang Chen and Su Wanru slept together. Kazhen's words echoed throughout the room. This volume was like he wanted to announce to the whole world that I had slept with Su Wanru. I snatched the microphone. The wineglass in Lin Yufeng's hand was about to be crushed. Brother Zhen, you can't just say things like that. This isn't something to be proud of. I frowned at Lin Yufeng. Su Wanru and I are recognized by the state as husband and wife. Why is it not honorable for us to sleep together? Kazhen nodded vigorously. That's right. First, it's not premarital sex. Second, it's not cheating. What's not honorable about it? A flash of jealousy appeared on Lin Yufeng's face. But Jiang Chen likes Li Qianqian. He slept with the great Miss Su. His body is no longer pure. Won't Li Qianqian despise Jiang Chen? This sentence is almost the same as what Jiang Jinian said. I frowned at myself, Lin Yufeng explained dryly. I was afraid Jiang Chen was forced by the great Miss Su. Jiang Chen cares so much about Li Qianqian. What if he does something rash? This is the key point. It makes a lot of sense. Zhen hurriedly asked me, did Su Wanru force you? As soon as this was mentioned, I immediately became very shy. It was I who slept with Su Wanru. Zhen gave me a thumbs up, daring to sleep with the great demon king Su Wanru. Your courage is commendable. I'll call 18 female models for you later to celebrate. I smirked speechlessly. Stop joking. I want to live a good life with Su Wanru. Zhen let out a mournful cry, his face full of teasing. Lin Yufeng's expression was very unsightly. Jiang Chen isn't getting a divorce anymore. Then what about Li Qianqian? It's Li Qianqian again, I announced very seriously. I declare that I will never like Li Qianqian again. From now on, if anyone tries to pair me with Li Qianqian, I will cut ties with them. My expression showed that this wasn't just something said in anger. Zhen was the first to applaud. Yu Baiyan smiled lightly. Lin Yufeng gave a stiff smirk. He showed a worried expression. He looked up and gave me advice in a low voice. Marriage isn't about looks or money. You can only be happy if you marry the woman you love. With the incident of being backstabbed by Jiang Jinian, I'm very sensitive to this. I frowned at Lin Yufeng. You seem to really want Su Wanru and me to get divorced? Lin Yufeng smiled and explained, it's not that I want you to get divorced, but that I support you in pursuing happiness. I looked at Lin Yufeng silently, analyzing the sincerity in his words. Lin Yufeng was a bit creeped out by my stare. He quickly said, if Jiang Chen loves the great Miss Su, I fully support you not getting a divorce. There were no comments. I was starting to suspect Lin Yufeng. Was it him? Lin Yufeng grunted in agreement, changed the subject, and asked gossipily, Jiang Chen, how did you end up sleeping with the great Miss Su? Don't you hate her the most? Hearing this, Zhen also chimed in to gossip. What kind of guts did you swallow, Jiang Chen? Give me some too, so I can charge at my goddess when I meet her. This is why I called them here tonight, because on that night we celebrated the divorce. In this very private room, I was drugged. And that's why I slept with Su Wanru. As I said these words, I quietly observed the three of them. Zhen stood up with a wine bottle, ready to smash someone. What? You were drugged? Which bastard has a death wish? Lin Yufeng nervously knocked over his wine glass. Yu Baiyan looked at me with concern. Brother Chen, are you okay now? Is that kind of poison harmful to the body? Have you been to the hospital for a checkup? I completely trusted Zhen, so I focused my attention on Lin Yufeng and Yu Baiyan. You couldn't tell just by looking at them, but I instinctively suspected Lin Yufeng. The golden danmaku appeared. Lin Yufeng is such a good actor. He was the one who drugged Jiang Chen, and here he is playing dumb. The foolish male supporting character was completely wrapped around his finger. Lin Yufeng is a classic, ungrateful bastard. The Jiang family sponsored him for over 10 years, but instead of thinking about repaying them, he only thought of ways to replace me. The first time he met Su Wanru, he was already plotting to steal her. He tricked Jiang Chen into divorcing Su Wanru, and even incited Jiang Chen to do bad things against the male lead, then colluded with Jiang Jinian to sell Jiang Chen to Myanmar. Clearly, Lin Yufeng is the real vicious male supporting character. What a pity. There's no evidence that Lin Yufeng drugged him. Otherwise, Su Wanru would have investigated and dealt with him long ago. Looking at the danmaku, I was both unsurprised and very surprised. I wasn't surprised that Lin Yufeng was the one who backstabbed me, but I was very surprised that Lin Yufeng backstabbed me, and so cruelly at that. Under my cold gaze, Lin Yufeng felt his hair stand on end. He gave a guilty, forced laugh, trying to ease the atmosphere. I looked at him and spoke slowly. Actually, I already know who drugged me. I just wanted to give him a chance to confess himself. Zhen slammed the table. What chance? Just spit it out and we'll throw him in the police station to rot in jail. Lin Yufeng acted as if he were wronged. It definitely wasn't me. I was sponsored and raised by your father. I'm supposed to follow Jiang Chen for life. If something happens to Jiang Chen, I'm done for too. Zhen and Lin Yufeng turned their heads to look at Yu Baiyan. Sensing their suspicion, Yu Baiyan looked at Zhen resentfully. I wouldn't do anything illegal. There were other people there. Why are you only suspecting me? I smiled and looked at Lin Yufeng. I don't suspect Ayan. Zhen sharply shifted his gaze to Lin Yufeng. Yu Baiyan also looked over. All three of them now cast their suspicious gazes upon him. Lin Yufeng immediately exploded, standing up angrily. What do you guys mean? Are you all suspecting me of drugging Jiang Chen? If I drugged Jiang Chen, may my whole family die, and may I get hit by a car and die when I go outside. Looking at his incredibly wronged expression, if not for the danmaku's prior reveal, I would have actually believed him. I didn't suspect you at first, but since you're so agitated, I'm starting to have my doubts. Lin Yufeng looked at me with a pained expression. You don't believe me? I nodded calmly. Yeah, I don't. Lin Yufeng's eyes reddened with grievance. Why don't you believe me? I couldn't even be bothered to make up a reason. Because you look like a bad guy. Will you only believe me if I die? I raised an eyebrow. Yeah. With a crash, Lin Yufeng smashed a wine bottle and pointed the sharp shard of glass at his own wrist. You don't believe me, so I'll use my death to prove it to you. I reached out to take the glass shard from Lin Yufeng's hand. Don't be like this. Lin Yufeng breathed a sigh of relief. He thought he knew how to control me now. Jiang Chen, I knew it. Just as he felt pleased, I stuffed a sharp fruit knife into his right hand. I grabbed Lin Yufeng's right hand, placed the fruit knife on his left wrist, looked up, and smiled at him. This here is the main artery. Slash down hard with the fruit knife. Only when fresh blood sprays across my face can you prove your innocence with your death. Lin Yufeng shuddered. I glanced indifferently at the fruit knife. Need my help? Yu Baiyan, horrified by the sight, opened his mouth to plead for him, but Kazhen held him back. Lin Yufeng gritted his teeth, closed his eyes, and slashed down hard with the fruit knife. The moment Yu Baiyan saw fresh blood gushing out, he stood up, his face pale, his voice trembled. He'll call an ambulance for you. Lin Yufeng raised his bleeding wrist for me to see. Jiang Chen, can you believe me now? I looked at his wound, not very satisfied. Let's say I believe you for now. Lin Yufeng was about to die from anger, but he could only suppress it and raise his head to give me a faint smile. That's good then. Don't suspect me anymore in the future. It's very hurtful. I said nothing. The atmosphere was a bit awkward and suffocating. Lin Yufeng couldn't sit still any longer. Jiang Chen, I'm bleeding too much. I'm going to the hospital first. Only then did I speak. Yeah, go on. Lin Yufeng stared at me for a moment. I didn't say I would go to the hospital with him, nor did I say I would give him my supplementary card to use, just a simple go on like that. Lin Yufeng left, feeling aggrieved. Brother Zhen, Brother Chen, you two have fun. I'll go to the hospital with him. Yu Baiyan, feeling uneasy, chased after him. The entrance of the Dihua Club. Yu Baiyan and Lin Yufeng stood by the roadside waiting for a car. Lin Yufeng glanced and saw a car approaching from ahead, a Maybach with the license plate Jing 999. He turned and stood right at the garage entrance, waiting for the Maybach to enter. Yan Ruyu recognized him. He rolled down the car window, poked his head out, and asked Lin Yufeng, Mr. Lin, Mr. Yu, is there something I can help you with? Yu Baiyan was about to say it was nothing, but Lin Yufeng was faster. He held up his bloody left hand and said with a pale face, Sister-in-law, my hand was injured because of Jiang Chen. It's so hard to get a car right now. Could I trouble you to take me to the hospital? Hearing my name, Su Wanro then rolled down her car window and frowned as she looked at Lin Yufeng's wrist. Your hand was injured because of Jiang Chen? Lin Yufeng nodded, his face pale. These were the people I rejected, the ones Kazhen intended to call for me. 18. Beautiful, fair-skinned female models walked out of the private room.